Dover, Delaware. It's where the MEAC will crown its 2025 football champion. South Carolina State, looking to win its second title in a row. Delaware State, eyeing its first since 2007. Winner goes to the Celebration Bowl. It's the Bulldogs and the Hornets, and it's coming up next. The eyes of the nation are on Dover, Delaware for the game of the year in the MEAC, featuring the defending conference champion South Carolina State Bulldogs taking on what just may be the turnaround story of the year in the FCS, the Delaware State Hornets. Two teams with identical records. Only one will be crowned MEAC champion and represent the league in the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Ahmad Garnett, I'm Darren Zaslow. Kendall Lanier is the third member of our team on the sidelines. Ahmad, let's take a look at these MEAC standings. As you can see, my friend, it all comes down to this afternoon.
Yeah, two undefeated teams in the MEAC meeting in the MEAC championship right here. We're ready for a great game here, Darren.
So, let's take a look at Delaware State. They have the top rushing offense in the FCS, averaging 278 yards per game, and that's because of their dynamic two-headed monster in the backfield.
Yeah, 1-2 punch right here. Marquise Gillis leading the MEAC in rushing with over 1,000 rushing yards, and James Jones, kind of that home run hitter right there, averaging 9.6 a carry. They have a dynamic running back room.
South Carolina State has the best rush defense in the conference, due in part to the play of their star linebacker, Jordan Franklin.
Yeah, Jordan Franklin, 15th in the MEAC in tackles, has 9 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 4 pass breakups. He's a guy that can get it done in between the tackles and in coverage.
Ahmad, the game of the year is here. The wait is over. Tell us your keys of the game.
For Delaware State, you have to do what you do best, and that is just run the football. You've been one of the best rushing offenses in the MEAC and in the FCS all around. So do what you do best, and then avoid penalties. 17 penalties last week against Howard, something you cannot do against this SC State team. And then for South Carolina State, you have to stop the run. You've been doing that all year, but against this Delaware State team is somebody who is expected to run the ball a lot. You have to do that. And then play your brand of football. SC State has played all 3 phases of the game well all year so far. So you look forward to them continuing in that today.
These teams are led by a pair of coaches who are most likely your top 2 candidates for the MEAC Coach of the Year honor. First-year head man Deshaun Jackson bringing the energy in his new Jack era. And on the other side for South Carolina State, Shennis Berry, last year's MEAC Coach of the Year, who, by the way, is 9-0 in conference games at South Carolina State. Just to mention that.
Yeah, and you think about it, it's great about this MEAC championship today. Chinnisberry last year, he was his first year going into the MEAC championship game. Deshaun Jackson this year, his first year going to the MEAC championship game. We're ready for a great game here.
Let's play some football, shall we, here at Alumni Stadium. Nico Cavaniasalti, the senior out of Madrid, Spain, to kick it away. Delaware State to receive the opening kickoff. Ball goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Ahmad, that's where the Hornets will start, riding a 5-game winning streak. They took down Howard last Saturday, 26-13, feeling good about themselves, and perhaps, can we call it the biggest game, at least, in nearly 2 decades here in Dover?
Yeah, it's a big game, and then we get to see an offense who features, like we said, a two-headed monster in the backfield, but also passing offense. Jaden Saray and Caden Bennett, both of the guys can get it done at the helm for the Hornets.
Jaden Saray getting the nod at quarterback once again. Transfer from Maryland. Head coach Deshaun Jackson saying in his post-game press conference last week, just trying to put the guys on the field that give us the best chance to win. Inside give there, and not a whole lot of running room for James Jones, who's number 3 in the MEAC in rushing, a transfer out of Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, James Jones, 837 yards on the year. Like we mentioned earlier in pregame, 9.6 a carry, 8 touchdowns. His longest rush of the year this year is 90 yards. So big home run ability here.
Howard bottled up Jones last week. He had 8 carries for 34 yards. Marquise Gillis in the backfield now. We'll see what Delaware State wants to do here on 2nd down. Getting a little crafty there with the inside give to Kyrie Benton. Able to shake out of a tackler and get up near midfield. Picks up the first down. That's what Delaware State needs, Ahmad, is that spark from their spark plug, Kyrie Benton.
Yeah, Benton right there. Look at this play design right here. He's going to come in motion. He's going to go around to the outside, follow his blocks, and get upfield. Try to make a stiff arm, but push out of bounds. That's a big play to almost get him up to midfield right there, Darren.
He was held without a catch last week. That's got to change this week.
You see they're already getting them involved early with some of the play designs like that. That's how you boost your players' morale, give them some confidence going into the championship game.
1st and 10 from the DSU 49. Marquise Gillis bottled up there. Like we said, Ahmad, this is a very talented South Carolina State defense. Great at stopping the run. Number 1 in the MEAC, averaging just 114 yards per game on the ground. That's good for number 16 in the FCS.
And even in the pass game, Jared Washington, he has 20 total pass breakups, which is first in the MEAC and first in the FCS this year.
So what are you going to do here on 2nd and 9 from the 50? Snap to Saw surveys the defense, gets rid of it. Flag flies. Catch is made there for a modest pickup by Nathan Stewart, the redshirt sophomore out of Laurel, Maryland. We'll see what the flag is here from Jason Soisman. And it looks like a sideline warning there for Delaware State.
Yeah, they're getting those. The refs, the officials are getting those in early. Just they know everybody's excited for the MEAC championship game, so just giving them that quick warning. You see Deshaun Jackson might not be a little bit happy about that, but the refs got to do what they got to do.
Pickup of 2 on the completion to Stewart. 3rd and 7 from the South Carolina State 48. On the opening possession here for Delaware State. Bulldogs have dominated this series of recent. They have won 12 out of the last 18 meetings against the Hornets, including 2 in a row and 7 of the last 8. This one for all the marbles here in 2025. 3rd and 7, snap to Saw gets rid of it over the middle and overshoots his intended receiver. And that's an early stop here for South Carolina State.
Yeah, Saray right there just sailed him a little bit. Looked like he probably took a hit in the pocket, releasing that ball, so it might have affected his ability to throw that ball right there. But great play by SC State to get off the field right here.
He's looking for Maurice Clark. Take another look here. Saray just a little high on that delivery.
Yeah, just a little high. Like I said, you see right there from that replay, he definitely did get hit.
Dyson Roberts, grad student, will punt it away here for the Hornets. Puts the right foot into it. This is a good one. Going to bounce in the end zone, and that's a touchback over the head of the return man, Jalen Johnson. And we'll see what South Carolina State can do here, Ahmad. When you take a look at this Bulldogs offense, right? Number 1 in the MEAC, averaging 289 pass yards per game. That's good for number 6 in the FCS, by the way. Delaware State ranking last in the MEAC in pass defense, allowing 270 yards per game. We're going to see what the James Madison transfer can do for South Carolina State. Billy Atkins, who has one tremendous arm.
Yeah, Atkins, 4 interceptions on the year, 15 passing touchdowns. He's averaging about 207 passing yards per game. So you expect to see them pass the ball a lot, Darren, like you just said.
And he leads the MEAC in passing efficiency as well. This is an early give on the ground and a little bit of running room there for the Bulldogs. And Tyler Smith on the carry there for South Carolina State. This offense likes to play with some tempo.
Yeah, they like to keep it going. Playing their game like we mentioned in pregame, this is something they do well, tempo right here.
Smith off the right side, met and dropped. Hornets all over that one. That's a big-time hit from Brian Bates, who entered play number 3 in the MEAC in tackles.
Number 3 in the MEAC in tackles, 72 total tackles right there. Come, look at him right here and get in the middle and just, boom, stopping him right in his tracks, bringing him down right there.
3rd down and 6. Tyler Smith getting some run here early for the Bulldogs. Goes in motion back into the backfield. Atkins clapping his hands, going to look to the sideline and get the play. Just over 3 minutes gone by here in our opening quarter. Johnson in motion there for the Bulldogs. Snap to Atkins here on 3rd down. Fires over the middle and incomplete. Looking for Jalen Johnson, the Grambling State transfer.
That's somebody who's been very reliable for them this year. That was a tough pass, a great pass by Atkins, but just a little low for Johnson. He had to put it right there low for him to try to make that catch so nobody else could get to it, but unable to make that catch. Now they're going 3 and out.
So both teams' defenses standing tall, and that is exactly what you want if you're looking for a tight matchup here on Championship Saturday.
Yeah, exactly what you're looking for.
Elliot Yanish will punt it away, averaging 39 yards per punt here for the Bulldogs. Puts the right foot into it. Jaden Jenkins will let it bounce at the 34. Takes a Bulldogs bounce inside the 25, down at the Hornets 23. And that's where we will pick up when we come back in a scoreless ball game early in Dover on Championship Saturday. Dover. We'll send things down to the third member of our team, Kendall Lanier. Kendall, what a resurgent year this has been for head coach Deshaun Jackson and his Delaware State Hornets.
Yes, definitely. The turnaround for this program has certainly been impressive, coming from a 1-11 season to now competing in the MEAC championship game. Some will call it magic, but for this team, it's just hard work and belief. Many of the players tell me that prior to this season, they were the laughingstock, but now they receive a whole different level of respect, so much so that they say they can even skip the line at lunch if they wanted to. According to the athletic department, they say that ticket and merchandise skills have skyrocketed, along with an economic boom around the city of Dover as well. Darren?
Kendall, thanks so much for that. Yeah, Ahmad, not bad for head coach Deshaun Jackson in his first year at the helm. Best season in 18 years, first winning season since 2012, oh, by the way, after the DSU holding call on first down.
And then you come in right now and you get a chance to take this team to the MEAC championship, and then you're competing so far in this game. You got to feel good if you're Deshaun Jackson.
Caden Bennett back in at quarterback here for Delaware State. First time we've seen him this afternoon. Gets rid of it to the outside, and Felipe Wesley is going absolutely nowhere. Shamari Reed on the stop for the Bulldogs, a transfer out of Division II Central Missouri.
Yeah, look at him blow up this screenplay right here as we get the replay coming up. He just come out here. He's going to read this screenplay after the fake the handoff. He's going to come up here and blow up that tackle, get through that block right there, and bring him down to the ground rough.
You mentioned the penalties for Delaware State. You saw that holding call on first down. This is the most penalized team in the MEAC, averaging 10 penalties per game for 98 yards. That has to change if you want to be a championship team.
Exactly. 17 penalties last week is not going to get it done today, but one penalty so far, so hopefully they're able to hold it tight and avoid those penalties.
Caden Bennett there with absolutely nowhere to go, swallowed up by the redshirt sophomore Jordan Dollard out of Greensboro, North Carolina.
We've mentioned that this is one of the best defenses in the MEAC, and you're starting to see it so far these first couple of drives. They're just getting to the ball before they get. Delaware State has a chance to get to the line of scrimmage. They're just in their face right there. It's got to be rough so far.
Brings up 3rd and 22 from the Hornets 11. What do you do on your 3rd and 22 play call list, Ahmad? We'll see.
Look downfield.
That's right. Bennett surveying the field. He could probably drink a cup of coffee back there. He's got to get rid of the ball. Throws it over the middle and intercepted for South Carolina State. A splash play on defense and a pick 6 for Jalen Levine. What a play for the Bulldogs to start the game.
Yeah, Jaden Jenkins, actually, we're going to get that replay. What an amazing interception right there. Jaden Jenkins for Delaware State actually called for that pass. I believe that was Jaden Jenkins down there. You might not be able to see him right there. His hand at the bottom of the screen right there. Just not unable to get that play right there. Correction. That was Edward Core right there, the tight end, calling for that pass right there. But he saw Caden Bennett look downfield, saw his man calling for the pass, threw the ball downfield. He was just able to jump it right there with a great play to get as he stayed on the board right there.
It's a pick 6, probably one you want to throw away. The Bulldogs jump out in front. PAT from Cavania Salty is good. And you blink your eye and the defending champion Bulldogs jump out in front. 7-0 right here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. Top dogs looking like they're going to be potentially top dogs again. The Bulldogs of South Carolina State, a pick 6 from Jalen Levine, giving South Carolina State a 7-0 lead here at Alumni Stadium on a championship Saturday in Dover, Delaware. Darren Zaslow, Ahmad Garnett, Kendall Lanier, happy to have you along for the game of the year. I'll tell you what, South Carolina State's fan base traveling up from Orangeburg, South Carolina. They have made the trip in impressive numbers and have had a lot to cheer about so far.
Yeah, that pick 6 right there is something that SC State is just one of the things they're really good at.
Look at Kyrie Benton on the return. Flag flies behind him as he gets up past the 30-yard line. And again, penalties, and penalties has been the difference early on.
Yeah, there's probably a penalty that might go on Delaware State. A lot of the times the kick returns or punt returns, they go on the receiving team as we're going to wait to get the call from the official, or it could be illegal hands to the face against SC State. Nevertheless, if it's Delaware State, it's the second penalty of the game.
And a hold. There's Jason Soisman on the call, and once again, the Hornets backed up, which head coach Deshaun Jackson not happy about, averaging 10 per game.
Yeah, we get to see the Hornets face some adversity here in MEAC play. They've played a lot of their MEAC games very tough so far. They had a lot of good games, especially, in Philly against Norfolk State. That was a great game as well. They had to lead for a lot, but Norfolk State began to fight back. So we get to see Delaware State down here, something we haven't seen a lot this year.
So Jaden Sarre back in a quarterback, fires over the middle as a wide open man. Nathan Stewart across midfield, inside the 40. He's tripped up inside the 30, and that's what the Hornets need. A big, big strike. Sarre to Stewart.
Darren, this is the type of thing that gets me excited, because you give up an interception last drive and you're feeling a little down a little bit. And then we're going to throw a skinny post right here. He's going to get down the field. No safety over top. And I'm just going to run. Look at him churning and burning, trying to get downfield right there.
Gets inside the 25. They'll mark it at the 24. Sarre and company want to move quickly. There's James Jones plunging up the middle. A nice pickup on first down. Stewart, by the way, originally committed to Temple. That's a nice target. Standing at 205 pounds, mind you.
Ooh, that's a big guy right there, especially at the receiver position. You're wondering why he was like, oh, that's a receiver. He should be moving a little bit faster. 250 pounds. That's a big fella running down the field.
After the 4-yard pickup, they're going to go back on the ground. That's Marquise Gillis, who is met and dropped immediately. There is a reason why South Carolina State has the best rush defense in the MEAC. They just swarm on you so quickly.
Darren, last time we was here, we saw Delaware State just get out against the team early and run the ball so well. Only 26 rush yards so far in this game so far, which is still very early. We only have had 8 minutes run off the clock so far in the first quarter. So we get to see this Delaware State have to settle in against this SC State team who can stop the run.
3rd and 5 here for the Hornets. From the Bulldogs 19, this is a big play. Sarre takes the snap, surveys the defense, lobs it up towards the back left corner, and he's intercepted! Second pick of the game for South Carolina State. A big one in the end zone, and what a defensive play right there by Jabin Ford.
2 late passes right there, getting some pressure. I think the big thing so far on these interceptions that we have seen from Caden Bidden and Jaden Sarre, they're facing a lot of pressure right there. Threw that pass a little bit late, and it just tailed behind them just a little bit. Great interception right there for SC State.
We saw one from Levine, one from Ford, coming at big moments here in our opening quarter.
Darren, this is just something you see with the veteran team who's been in this situation before, and Delaware State hasn't been in this situation in so long, fighting for a MEAC championship. The nerves, they're getting out now because you're starting to feel it.
You're 100% right. And right now, South Carolina State showing why they are the defending champs. Can they get the offense going here? We're about to find out. Here's Billy Atkins launching it deep over the middle, has a wide open man, and he drops the football. That was a fantastic run route and a good opportunity there for Johnson, who was able to haul it in.
Right there, yeah. It looked like he bobbled it just a little bit going down. You see SC State trying to hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage before that replay system has a chance to kick in. As we see,
did look
they've
like
got
he
it all.
bobbled it. And how about that? If you're a Bulldogs fan, you will take it as Tyler Smith gets the carry off the big catch from Johnson.
Let's see if we can get that replay right there for Johnson to see.
Really close, but they're going to give it to him. Outside toss and an incomplete pass in and out of the hands of Jordan Smith.
I don't think we need to replay on that. He definitely dropped that as we get that play right there. Made 2 steps. He started to bobble it when he rolled over at the end, but I think he had possession of that.
And you know what? He put his head up there after, like maybe he dropped it or that he knew he had a touchdown.
Yeah, I think he was mad he stumbled because he had a chance for a touchdown.
3rd and 6 here for the Bulldogs from the Hornets 29. It's a tremendous catch by Nigel Johnson, junior out of Sumter, South Carolina, who had a 51-yard touchdown reception last week. Almost did it again right there.
Exactly. Look at Delaware State right here, 8-man in the box.
3rd and 6. Atkins going deep to the outside, incomplete. Overshoots his intended receiver, Nicholas Sowell.
You see Nicholas right there. He was looking for that pass interference. I thought they might get a call right there. Could be just a good hand fighting right there. But he can only go up with one hand. You see that left arm being held right there. So I don't know. He might have got away with a pass interference on that one.
Well, let's see what South Carolina State wants to do here. Try and tack on 3 with Nico Cavanius Alti.
Hit a long field goal last week against North Carolina Central, so he has the ability to kick this far.
This from 48, his long is 50. Kick from the left footer up, and no good. So the Hornets able to divert from disaster and get a big stop as Cavania Salty just off the mark on the long field goal try. 7-0 South Carolina State on top of Delaware State here in Dover. Here in Dover in a 7-0 game. On top is South Carolina State. We'll see what the Hornets can do here from their own 29, and a nice give to Marquise Gillis, able to churn up field for a nice first down pickup. Can the Hornets establish the run? That's what we've been talking
They're
about.
going to try to. They're going to do everything in their power to establish this run game, as you see another run right there after two big runs right there.
Marquise Gillis entering play, leading the MEAC in rushing. Had 92 yards last week in the win over Howard. Has surpassed 1,000 yards this season.
And the thing that Delaware State can do is set this run game up for a play action.
We're going to go back on the ground to Gillis, is patient and met by a swarm of Bulldogs defenders after about a 3-yard pickup.
Gillis is just such a tough runner, Darren. It's just
He really is.
you probably like a back like Clinton Portis in his running back room right here, a coach like that. He probably just sees Gillis run. He's probably just makes him so proud. He's like, I love the way he runs. He just runs so tough.
That's right. Gillis, the 2023 All-MEAC second team selection. Nice, too, when you have James Jones, who's able to break out of tackles like that. Jones down the sideline with a man to beat, and Delaware State finding its groove on the ground with Gillis and Jones.
I wanted people to look at this replay where he gets potentially almost tackled at, almost at the line of scrimmage. He uses his speed right there just to get upfield. I thought he was going to score at one point, Darren.
That's right.
Just look at that speed. I was bursting away. We looking at it in the booth. I'm like, oh, my gosh, he might score.
Jabin Ford, who had the pick in the end zone for the Bulldogs, just saved a touchdown. Saw Ray and company want to move quickly. They go back to Jones. He's taken down in the backfield. Not a whole lot there. Joshua Barker in on the stop. Division II transfer out of Benedict. Meets him at the line of scrimmage.
James Jones right there. Such a great run, and they're just giving it right back to him. You see they haven't passed once this drive so far, Darren. Something we wanted to see, get that run game going, and this is when the attrition sets in. James Jones, Marquise Gillis in one drive. It's still very early, so attrition is setting in only in this drive, but SC State is not tired of tackling these guys. I'm not going to be tired till the clock hits 0.
Little jet sweep and nothing doing. Absolutely nothing doing right there. South Carolina State does a real nice job moving side to side defensively.
Yeah, that's good preparation right there. Like Coach Shinesbury has said before, preparation is one of his keys. He's able to just get his guys ready for these misdirection type runs that Delaware State loves to run.
That was Nigel Lawley on the carry. Brings up 3rd and 11. Biggest play thus far for this DSU offense. Snap to Sauray, facing some heat, extends the play. Sauray improvising, and he's tripped up. South Carolina State getting the pressure that they needed right there from Kayvon Chisholm. He had 5 tackles, 2 TFLs, and a sack last Friday in the win over NC Central.
You see Jaden Sauray trying to get it right. He just has that speed, but just look at that. Just sticking that hand out and grabbing that foot, it does so much. Good credit on that sack right there. That is tough. That is championship football right there, giving everything you got so you can go to the Celebration Bowl.
Patrick Fisher-Butler, the redshirt sophomore, on for the 44-yard field goal try. His long this year is 40. He's 8 of 12 on the season. That kick is up, and that kick is good for PFB. Patrick Fisher-Butler, pure from 44.
PFP, that was phenomenal right there. That was a phenomenal call right there, Darren PFP. I like that one. It looked like he had a lot of leg left in that football if you wanted to go 50 yards potentially if he could make that field goal. But great for Delaware State to get points on the board right here. Second time they've been in the red zone. This drive doesn't get stalled.
Patrick Fisher-Butler getting the Hornets on the board from 44 yards away. And I will tell you what, you're going to look back, maybe at the end of this game, that Kayvon Chisholm trip up there on Sauray just saved them a touchdown, potentially, at least a first down.
Yeah, Sauray, he has the speed to get to that first down marker right there. But it was a great, like you just said, a great sack right there. Delaware State just starting to settle in a little bit as this first quarter comes to a close and trying to get everything ready. You see Coach Jackson right there coaching his team up right there, getting them ready for everything for kickoff.
We asked head coach Deshaun Jackson how they have proven the doubters wrong after being picked to finish last in the MEAC preseason poll to playing for the MEAC championship. He says it starts with our mindset and mentality. That's the new Jack era, the rejuvenized energy of the football program.
Yeah, he gets this Delaware State team just ready to run through a wall for him every game.
It's exactly what you want. Really, really short kick picked up there for South Carolina State. That was Johnny Jones turning on the wheels and getting up near the 40.
Yeah, if he had a little bit more space, you see that cut right there following his lead block. If he didn't get tackled right there on those 2 tackles right there, he would have been gone.
What have you seen so far out of this South Carolina State offense, Ahmad? Because looks like they're still trying to find a rhythm.
Yeah, they're still trying to find the rhythm, but they have some good plays downfield so far. Nigel Johnson with that deep post down the middle of the field, able to get over that safety right there. But they're still settling in. They have a well-balanced game so far, run and pass. But you know both of these teams have the ability, once they get settled in, their offense is going to go.
Atkins getting rid of it to the outside. It's caught by Jordan Smith. Last week, 7 catches, 72 yards, a touchdown in the win over NC Central. By the way, Jordan Smith leads the MEAC in receiving yards and yards per game. As an O, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And this receiving core for SC State is one of the best in the MEAC. That's why they're able to be the best in the MEAC in passing, because they have a lot of guys who can get out there and catch the ball.
Atkins lobbing it up out of bounds after the 5-yard pickup to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, Atkins right there with the veteran play. You see that as a guy who's older, doesn't see anything there on that 2nd down. It's 2nd and 5. We're going to get to 3rd and 5. I'm not going to try to force anything downfield. It's 3rd and manageable right here.
Let's play another day.
Exactly. And that's something this Delaware State team is still learning at that quarterback position.
3rd and 5 from the Bulldogs' 43. Smith, the man in motion, will motion back into the backfield. Billy Atkins, 6'1", graduate transfer out of James Madison, played there for 4 years, started the Boca Raton Bowl last year for the Dukes. Atkins facing some heat, gets rid of it, finds Smith, gets near the 1st down marker, very close. Where are they going to mark this?
You see the ballerina toes on the sideline right there after breaking that tackle and making that catch. First of all, it's a good catch. And they're going to call him, looks like it's going to be just short, 4th and 1 right there for SC State. And Looked like they're actually going to punt.
It's a huge stop for the Hornets. Take another look. Atkins buying time. Smith really close to that first down marker.
Yeah, he might have would have had to dive out for it after he stayed in bounds, but he was really close to the line right there, so unable to make that second effort.
Elliot Yanish will punt it away. It's a nice punt. Inside the 10, rolls into the end zone, a touchback. And Delaware State, after throwing back-to-back interceptions, including one being a pick six, the Hornets have quieted the storm.
Yeah, that's something we had just mentioned. This is a championship team. You know, both these teams in the championship, Delaware State just able to settle down after making some mistakes and go back to their bread and butter, something we mentioned in their keys to the game in the pregame. Run the football.
That's exactly right. Averaging 278 yards per game on the ground, the best in the FCS. It's our best against your best, that being as well South Carolina State's rushing defense. They're going to go back to Caden Bennett after throwing the pick six. Gillis inside give, runs over multiple defenders. Marquise Gillis is one tough man as the clock runs under 1:30.
You see that run? He gets up flexing after that. I was flexing in the booth form right here. Look at this. I'm going to make a cut inside here, and I'm just going to run you over. Get out of my way. Little boy day was yesterday.
That's exactly right. Nice pickup of 6 yards on first down to bring up 2nd and 4 here for Caden Bennett. Graduate transfer out of Sacramento State, where he played 4 years there. Benton in motion. Here's the option to Gillis, shaking out of 2 defenders, but cannot escape those arms of Jordan Franklin, the team's leader in tackles, entered play with 52 on the year.
Yeah, like I said, he's an inside the tackles type of linebacker, but also can get vertical. Look at him getting outside, reading that play right there. I'm going to stay on the running back, and then I'm going to go outside, stay on the quarterback, and then I'm going to go outside to the running back after he passes it out for the read option, able to make a big stop right there.
Jordan Franklin, a guy who played in just a couple games last year for South Carolina State. Talk about really coming on this season, to say the least. 3rd and 6. And getting drilled there is Sauray. What a defensive play for the Bulldogs. Coming in off the edge, Quantre Harry.
And something that SC State has done well on these third downs is the delayed pressures or just a straight blitz right there. Just coming in from that outside corner position right there. Just that delayed blitz right there. Getting in there and bringing Sauray down.
That's the end of your first quarter with a thump from Quantre Harry. Your score, Bulldogs 7, Hornets 3, after 1, right here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. State on top of Delaware State. Here's a third member of our team, Kendall Lanier, with more on the Bulldogs mindset. How's it going, Kendall?
Yeah, South Carolina State has been the hunted all season, the reigning MEAC champions. But at the start of the season, they were a completely new team. One returning starter on offense and two returning starters on defense, but the mindset has stayed the same. Coach Berry has been preaching discipline and consistency since he joined this program last season, and he said that they're prepared for this game. They've been playing tough teams all season, and now they're ready for, quote, business as usual. Darren?
Kendall, thanks so much for that. You know, we talked with head coach Chennis Berry this week in his second year at the helm of the Bulldogs. He says, this team has a leadership council. They meet every month. They talk about all aspects of the program, from the way they travel to what they eat to their uniforms to their culture. You want to create a winning culture like Coach Berry does? Listen to your players, man.
Exactly. This is a phenomenal idea by Coach Berry right there. Just listening to his guys, getting ready, just seeing what everybody likes. I'm sure the offensive lineman group right there, the leader for that group, has a lot to say about what they want to eat on traveling games.
That's right. Nigel Johnson there on the first down reception for South Carolina State. Already has a big play to his name thus far this afternoon. Had 6 catches for 133 yards last year. And again, just another guy that's coming on.
Yeah, this is a...
How about that? Speaking of coming on, what a hit right there for Delaware State and Anthony Hebert, the transfer out of Division II Nebraska Kearney.
Look at this hit right here. It made me lose my train of thought. Legs go airborne right there.
We've seen some big ones this afternoon. One from Quantre Harry out of South Carolina State. And there, Anthony Hebert bringing up 3rd down and 8.
Mom's watching on ESPN. She's saying, don't hit my baby like that. His legs went airborne right there.
Championship Saturday, whistle and a flag. Could be a false start. We will see. And that's exactly what it is. Let me tell you what. Hornets Nation is making their presence known in what is the biggest game here in Dover in nearly 2 decades. After a decade of losing seasons, if you will. This being the first winning season for the Hornets in a long time. 13 years to be exact. Do you think they're pumped up about it?
Always go back to, Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Deshaun Jackson is building a very good program right now so far, and they're 8-3, and the fans are coming out. Revenues are up. This is just good for the city of Delaware.
After the false start, 3rd and 8 becomes 3rd and 13. Whistle, timeout Bulldogs, and Deshaun Jackson and his Hornets, after throwing back-to-back picks, have calmed the storm, and South Carolina State faces a big 3rd and 13 when we come back. 7-3 Bulldogs on top of the Hornets early in the second.
Something we haven't seen a lot this year.
The MEAC title and a trip to the Cricket Celebration Bowl on the line here in Dover, Delaware, a packed Alumni Stadium. 7-3 South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. Here early in quarter number 2, Bulldogs facing a big 3rd and 13 against this Delaware State defense that is re-energizing itself. Here's Billy Atkins facing some pressure, going to take off himself. Ducks down just shy of the 40. If you're a Delaware State fan, you will take that any day of the week.
Yeah, dropping 8 back in coverage, only rushing 3 right there, helped Delaware State a lot. It forced Atkins to run up the middle right there, just nowhere to go, as he had a couple of guys just sitting right there waiting for him.
Giannis on the punt here for South Carolina State. Defenses have definitely come to play here this afternoon. Jaden Jenkins back deep for the Hornets of Delaware State.
I expect nothing less from both of these teams, though. We already said pregame, everybody was saying as we were walking in, this is going to be a phenomenal game.
Short angling punt here, bounces near the Hornets 35, takes a small Bulldog roll inside the 35. That's where Delaware State will pick up here, trailing by 4. Talk to head coach Deshaun Jackson about what it means to play for the MEAC title. He said, we feel great, obviously. It's deserving given the work that this team has put in. It's a huge opportunity. This one's for all the marbles.
Yeah, just given everything you got in this game, alternating quarterbacks, seeing multiple running backs come into this game defensively, and then to make it even better, you have this crowd behind you, which is arguably one of the best crowds we've seen here at Alumni Stadium so far this year. It was a great crowd for homecoming, Darren, as we were here for homecoming as well.
Hands down. Ray wants to go deep down the near sideline and overshoots Kyrie Benton. When Kyrie gets moving, Ahmad, looks like he's shot out of a cannon.
And then Jaden Saray right there. If you're able to overthrow Kyrie Benton right there, you obviously got an arm to push it downfield. Right. You see him smiling a little bit before we went to that replay, like, oh, my gosh, I just overthrew that guy. I'm obviously lifting well in the weight room this year.
That's right. Gerard Washington on the coverage for the Bulldogs. 2nd and 10 here for the Hornets. They're going to go on the ground. This is James Jones, who has nowhere to go.
A little extracurricular right there on the side between the defensive back and receiver right there, you know.
On a championship Saturday, why not, right?
Love to see that. Look at that run. Just nowhere to go right there for James Jones. Just gets wrestled down. These in-between tackle runs have been a bit better for Delaware State. These outside runs have just not been working. SC State has been doing their thing, holding the outside, not letting anything get outside of them. But those up-the-middle runs, they had a couple with Marquise Gillis earlier in the last couple of drives that looked very well, Darren.
Yeah, that was Brendan Scott on the tackle for South Carolina State. Here's 3rd down. Ray surveying the defense, fires over the middle and incomplete. Almost threw his 2nd pick of the afternoon. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Ray obviously he's feeling very confident. He's telling his guy where that ball should have been or where he should have been with that ball. It looked like it might have slipped out of his hands a little bit. Actually, it did a little bit just slip out of his hands. Almost intercepted right there by Charles Arnold Jr.
So 4th and 10 here for the Hornets. They will punt it away once again with Dyson Roberts. His long punt of the year, 66 yards. Back deep is Jalen Johnson. Electric return man here for South Carolina State. What a punt from Roberts. Bounces inside the 10, goes near the pylon, and it looks like that'll be a touchback. What a punt from Dyson Roberts. 7-3, South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. It's a championship Saturday on the MEAC Digital Network right here on ESPN+. (7-3) defending champion South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. This one for all the marbles here in Dover. Winner claims the MEAC title and punches its ticket to the Cricket Celebration Bowl. South Carolina State here picking up on offense. Inside give there to Tyler Smith with a nice rush on first down, Ahmad, despite Delaware State outgaining the Bulldogs 127-93 early on.
Yeah, and that's that rushing yards early. They had one drive where Delaware State just went down the field, just all rushing plays, a couple of big bursts right there. But SC State, well balanced in their attack. You see Tyler Smith right there getting in between the tackles with a great run. Start off the drive.
Second down here for Atkins. Going to hurl it deep down the near sideline. A really, really nice catch. Did he haul that in? Yes, he did. A tremendous play by Soul, the redshirt junior.
A great catch on that back shoulder pass right there. Soul right there just able to get his head, but look back around. Look at that pass right there to the outside. Only where your guy can get a great catch right there. Both hands under the ball before you hit the ground. That is a completed catch right there.
To the 48 go the Bulldogs. Whistle and a stoppage in play. Do they want to review this or take a timeout? That's what it's going to be. Says Jason Soisman. It's a tremendous play by Soul either way. And they're going to take another look here on video review. Here at the 10:34 mark, Ahmad, what did you see? Because it could go either way.
I think I saw a catch right there. Maybe they're looking at the spot of the ball right there. If we can get another replay up here, but I believe that's a catch from eyes. Looked like he got the ball, got his hands under the ball right there. You saw Deshaun Jackson running down the sideline saying maybe he did not catch that ball or maybe looking at the spot right there. But he was calling for it the whole time, and he was looking right there. But Deshaun Jackson actually talking to the officials right there, maybe looking at a pass interference. They called it a completed catch, first down, SC State.
Yeah, well done there by Soul. Take another look here. Billy Atkins dropping a dime. And on the coverage there for Delaware State is RPT Ryan Pelham-Taylor.
I think Delaware State, Deshaun Jackson was maybe looking at a push-off right there to get to that catch, but hand fighting all the way down the field, not going to get that call.
If you're a Bulldogs fan, you will take it. Out of the gun here, Atkins getting rid of it quickly. Again, Soul finding some open room here against this Hornets secondary.
Yeah, those outside breaking routes have been working well for SC State so far. What happens right now for SC State? You see them getting down the field, building up a tempo. This is the type of offense they want to run.
Pickup of 6. Kind of dink and dunk here for the Bulldogs, who like to play fast. There's Smith with a touch, and down he goes. What do you think of Brian Bates? Had 6 tackles last week, and another one right there.
Third best tackler and third best defensive player in the MEAC right there, Brian Bates. Just a great tackle, able to fight away that stiff arm and bring them down. It's going to be third down. As you hear them saying in the stadium, this stadium is packed, Darren.
I really don't see a whole lot of empty seats. Really don't. And credit to Bulldog Nation making the trip up from Orangeburg.
Yeah, both sides.
3rd and 4.
See Delaware State, you see Brian Bates right there dropping down. Maybe see some pressure right here for Delaware State.
And a one-high safety look as well.
Yeah, man-to-man right here potentially. Yes, it is.
Atkins takes the snap, delivers to the left side, has a man, it's caught. That's a first down for the Bulldogs. And a big play. Cyrus Ellison hauls it in and takes a shot after.
Seeing Wayne Favors the third on that outside right there for defensive back. He's going to get stuck behind his own man right here. You see him falling behind, trying to get that tackle right there. He is going to get stuck. Ugh. There's a lot of tough hits right here in this MEAC championship.
That's right. To the 33 of the Hornets go the defending champs in South Carolina State. Atkins again wants to throw. He does, and overshoots his intended receiver. He was looking for Johnny Jones, the speedy Johnny Jones.
Yeah, Johnny Jones, another out route right there for SC State. Were they able to get that first down with that out route, a 5-yard out right there, another 5-yard out. Atkins just a little bit too far outside for him right there. It's going to be 2nd and 10, but these Bulldogs are moving the ball down the field there.
They're finding that much-needed offensive rhythm. 3 wide receivers set. Tyler Smith in the backfield and a shotgun look here for South Carolina State. Just over 8.5 to go in our opening half. Inside give there to Smith. Runs over a defender. Gets up near the 25. It's a nice pickup on second down for Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith. Both sides of the ball are just tough hitting right now. It's MEAC Championship football right here. Look at that. Get out of my way. Tyler Smith right there, able to get right back up.
Pickup of 8. 3rd and 2. Do you go back to the ground here knowing if you don't get it, you're going to go for it?
Oh, yeah, it's 4-down territory. You definitely can go. You have the option. Look at this formation right here.
Heavy
definitely,
set look.
Definitely going back to the ground right here.
Josh Shaw getting popped, but falls forward. And did he pick up the first down after Wayne Favors laid the hit on him, and he's just short by a yard.
4th and, I don't even know if that's a yard, Darren. That might be 4th and inches right there. Look at this hit. He pushed him forward a little bit right there, Darren. But 4th and 1 right here is a big play, probably the biggest play of the game so far.
Inside give, not a whole lot of running room. Did he get there? And did the ball come out? They say it's out, and Delaware State has it. Are you kidding me? Tremendous defensive play. And falling on it right there for the Hornets is Samuel Scalf.
Look at that run.
What a
just
play.
Tough churning right here. You're going to see that ball come out right there late.
Ryan
A
Bates.
little bit. Trying to move forward right there, and that ball just pops out. That's the risk you take having those big guys come in there trying to get that first down for you. Is
Scalf
too busy trying to move
falls
forward.
on it.
Yeah, move forward right there, but not protecting the football as much as you can and just able to peanut punch that out. Delaware State getting a turnover of their own there.
Can the Hornets capitalize? That's the million-dollar question. Caden Bennett back in at quarterback here for Delaware State after the fumble recovery by Scalf. What a game so far. Bennett fires over the middle, has a man, that's Terrence Roan, picks up the first down up near the 45. TR with a big reception.
Look at that RPO action right there, Darren. You looking for that run right there, and then you have one of your guys come on a skinny post right there just to get him down the field. And they're going to hurry this up. Caden Bennett was hyped after that pass.
He had 3 catches for 90 yards last week, did Roan. Option, Bennett on the keeper, gets up past the 50. Look at Caden Bennett into Bulldogs territory. Hornets Nation on its feet.
Caden Bennett hyped again. Look at that. He's going to keep that himself right there. And he's just going to run downfield, make a couple of quick juke moves, and I'm going to get downfield. Look at this Delaware State. They are hyped right now. The crowd is hyped. They're telling them, run the ball again. Do something with it, Delaware State. These fans are screaming for it.
Bennett leads the MEAC with 9 rushing scores, and that is why.
Yeah, look at that. Just that vision on that run right there is just something you don't see out of a lot of quarterbacks. But Caden Bennett can do it.
Up to the Bulldogs 28. Bennett getting rid of it to the outside and getting popped. A huge defensive play for the Bulldogs. And that's Jalen Levine again, who already has a pick 6 to his name.
Darren, these are some tough hits right here. Ugh.
Oh, my God.
Just coming with violence. Bad intentions to the football. And that's championship football right there, Darren. The refs, nobody wants to be the ref that blow that whistle and be like, oh, unnecessary roughness or hit to the head or something like that. These are all, and what I like about these, you don't have to worry about that with any of these hits. These are all great tackles.
QB draw there for Bennett, has some room, jumps out of a tackler. Bennett staying patient and picks up a nice gain to bring up 3rd down and short. That is what Caden Bennett can do to you. Last week, threw just 3 passes, but did carry the ball 9 times.
Yeah, that's something, that balance you can bring. You know, if you're not feeling him in the pass game, you bring Jaden Saray in to throw the ball downfield. But this is what Bennett can do. That patience, that running ability, that's not something you see from a quarterback a lot, that ability to run the ball like that.
You're right. It's a pickup of 10 yards to bring up 3rd and 3 for Bennett and company. Bennett surveys the defense, and his pass is incomplete. So it brings up decision time here on 4th and 3. From the Bulldogs 21. You go, right?
Yeah, you go. This is 3rd down territory right here. Where are they at? At about the 21-yard line right there. Thank you, Darren, for picking me up right there. About the 21-yard line right there. You go for this. 5 minutes left. in the first half. You're down by 4 points after just getting a field goal. You've been in the red zone multiple times, just unable to get into the end zone. You try right here.
Bennett on the RPO keeper trying to get to the edge, and he undershoots his intended receiver. He had James Jones, but undershoots him, and that is a turnover on down. 7-3 Bulldogs after the big 4th down stop late in the second.
From open house to acceptance.
Packed crowd here in Dover, Delaware at Alumni Stadium. Here's a third member of our team, Kendall Lanier.
Yeah, as this Del State defense comes back on the field, I talked to linebacker Brian Bates, who said the mindset has been to be a hard-nosed, tough group of guys and stop the run. Safeties coach Travis Clark said a couple weeks ago they sat down the defensive coaches to make some adjustments. He said earlier in the season he knows that the offense was carrying this team, but after they reevaluated, now the defense has been able to step up and have the offense's back. Darren?
Yeah, Kendall, thank you so much for that. I mean, when you take a look at this Delaware State defense, we talk about the penalties, the controllables, and you wonder, well, how is this team going to respond to that in a game of this magnitude? They've done a great job.
Yeah, they've done a phenomenal job. Just unable to just get it into the end zone so far, but they are still right here in this ball game.
Second down here for the Bulldogs. Atkins surveying the defense, going to tuck it and run. And Delaware State doing a nice job keeping South Carolina State in front to bring up here 3rd and short.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go right there on that play. Just looking down the field. Just nowhere to go. He decided to run with it, get a couple of yards, going to make it 3rd and 4.
Atkins played in 3 games last year at James Madison, started the Boca Raton Bowl through 181 passing yards in that one, and a touchdown to lead JMU to a 10-point win over Western Kentucky, 27-17. So it's played in some big games, but right now none bigger than this one.
Yeah, and look at this Delaware's defense right here. Another blitz right here. Looks like press man coverage on the outside.
3rd and 4. Atkins lobbing it up deep down the far sideline, and it's hauled in by Jordan Smith. He's the leading receiver in the MEAC for a reason. Number 2 in touchdowns, and that is why right there.
Gets rid of it before the blitz gets there. Blanketed on coverage. They're hand fighting each other right there, but just able to bring it in. That's a great no call by the official to see both of them are hand tugging and fighting right there.
Edric Gibson running step for step with Smith. Here's the other Smith. That's Tyler Smith with a head of steam up to the 35. They're going to move that pile forwards. And a nice run on 1st down there from Tyler Smith. Last year ran for 191 yards. This year entering play 441 as the team's leading rusher.
Yeah, this is just another great run right here. Just getting downhill. He's taken a lot of tough hits so far, but he keeps coming back for more. 4 yards on that game right there.
It's a nice run on 1st down. 2nd and 6 from the Hornets 35. Atkins getting rid of it to Tyler Smith. Has a man to shake off. He's unable to do so. A nice defensive play by Desheen Jackson. Transfer out of Alabama State.
Yeah, it just doesn't see anything downfield. I'm going to go to my reliable guy who's been running the ball well. And then we're going to get that 1st down.
He's able to pick up that 1st down like you mentioned. Tyler Smith really doing it in all aspects. And that is your 2-minute timeout. 7-3, South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. Looking for more. It's the MEAC Digital Network right here on ESPN+. Flags flying here in Dover, Delaware, and if you like defense, this is the game for you. 7-3 South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. Here at the 2-minute timeout, Billy Atkins, the quarterback for the Bulldogs, Ahmad, finding a rhythm, 9 of 14 for 165 yards through the air.
Yeah, and he's getting those outside passes working. He's handing it off to Tyler Smith and also finding them outside the backfield.
Is he looking for Jordan Smith here? He is. Contact and a flag. May as well try and get the ball to the MEAC's leading receiver in one of the biggest moments thus far, which you would think would be pass interference.
Yeah, it looks like it, but that outside man threw that flag. The outside official threw that flag, but the middle of the official that was right there, I don't think he saw it. I don't think he saw anything because he did not throw a flag. But
what do they want to do here? And that's what it is, says Jason Soisman. Defensive pass interference on the Hornets. And a first down here for the Bulldogs, who don't need any help. Jordan Smith, once again, the intended receiver.
Yeah, that's definitely pass interference right there. Got to him a little bit early. I understand you're just trying to catch up to the pass right there. But
it's Pelham Taylor and Favors on the coverage for the Hornets. Here's Shaw. Lowering that shoulder, gets stood up and dropped right near the 10. Delaware State's defense needs to stand tall right here. It's a nice defensive play for the Hornets when you need it most.
Look at there, getting low. I'm going to get high with you, and I'm going to bring you up, and I'm going to take you down. Right there, Elijah Williams right there on that tackle for Delaware State.
2nd and 7 here for the Bulldogs. They can pick up the first down from the Hornets' 10. Atkins out of the shotgun. Fakes the give. Rifles it to the right side. It's caught by Jordan Smith. Reaches for the end zone. He is in! Jordan Smith once again finding pay dirt. His 7th touchdown of the season, and the Bulldogs jump in front. It's 13-3.
Yeah, he had a lot of time in that pocket right there, and it looked like Smith was just sitting right there by himself. It might have just got caught in that zone a little bit right there. Yep, just right there by himself. Somebody tries to come up and make a tackle, but he makes that extra effort right there to get into the end zone.
Nico Cavanius-Alti on for the PAT. He is 31 for 31 on the year. And you can make it 32 for 32 after the Jordan Smith touchdown, a 10-yard pitch and catch from Atkins to Jordan Smith.
Yeah, we get another look here right here, Darren. Just shotgun formation right here. Going to fake the handoff, RPO action. Going to give him to him right there, and he's just going to make that extra effort, get into that end zone. SC State, they have been playing well offensively and defensively. 2 interceptions, but you had that fumble late down here in the red zone. But SC State, by all means, Atkins is 10 for 16, 175 passing yards and a passing touchdown. Phenomenal game so far.
There is a reason he is the most efficient passer in the MEAC. Entered play number 3 in the league in passing yards this season, and he has been absolutely sensational. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards this year, and that is his 17th total score.
And look how he looks in the pocket, Darren. Just nice and calm and just – I'm not going to let anything bother me because I know what I can do with the football, and I'm going to throw it to my open receivers. I'm going to hit. I'm not going to make any fancy plays or any extra plays or anything like that. I'm going to hit my open receivers when they're there.
Cavanius-Alti to kick it away. Here's Kyrie Benton from his own 7. Kyrie runs through a man, gets spun down just shy of the 25. Can Delaware State respond? They have moved the football well.
No problem moving the football, Darren. 3 timeouts left, 1:03 left in the first half. I feel like you got those 3 timeouts. You're able to break off a couple. You could start the drive with a minute left. You can start the drive with maybe a run, or you might be able to get some RPO action or a play action right there. But with 3 timeouts, all options are on the table. Not like to have a whole bunch of time left, Darren, but a minute is still some decent amount of time with 3 timeouts.
They'll put Caden Bennett in at the controls, gets rid of it quickly to the right side. It's caught there by Nathan Stewart. Had a catch for 6 yards last week, doing a nice job making himself available this week.
Now it goes down to 58 seconds, but he gets out of bounds on that play right there. So See the official after that quick out route, just something to get your drive going and get you some confidence right here. So they're going to come up for this 2nd and 5.
After that 5-yard pickup, Bennett again out of the gun, taking the low snap. And overshoots Terrence Roan here to the near sideline to bring up 3rd down. Now here's the problem. South Carolina State still has 2 timeouts.
That's the issue right there. That's why I thought they were going to try to get 1 run in maybe, because they have that big playability with James Jones and Marquise Gillis, you know.
If you're a Bulldogs fan, you love that.
Yeah, if you love to get the ball back with 2 timeouts left, you know Chennis Berry is going to dial something in for this SC State team to potentially try to get them down the field.
3rd and 5 here for Delaware State. Caden Bennett steps up, takes off. Look at Caden Bennett go up across the 50, deep into Bulldogs territory, and that's what Caden Bennett can do to you after taking a hard hit.
He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but they have 3 timeouts. They're going to take one right here. You move all the way down to the other side of the field. Look at that. Sees the blitz. I'm going to run up the middle of the field. I'm going to use my speed. I'm going to break a tackle, and I'm going to get as much as I can and try to cut back in and get some more. A lot of quarterbacks do not have that ability, but Darren, he does.
Shamari Reed able to track him down. Division II transfer out of Central Missouri. Played his first 2 years there. Had 23 tackles a year ago. Has excellent speed, does the grad student out of Atlanta, Georgia.
It's key for Delaware State to try to get some points right here because South Carolina State does receive the ball to kick off the 2nd half. So you got to get some points right here just to get it under a 2-possession game so you can go back down and then defensively get a stop and you're down 1 possession. Delaware State right back in that football game, but you have to get some points right here. Even if it's 3, that still gets you in 1 possession.
Caden Bennett, like we said, leading the MEAC with 9 rushing scores entering play this afternoon. Man, would he love a 10th here with his team down by 11. 45 seconds left here in our opening half in Dover. 4 wide receivers set here for the Hornets. Bennett facing some pressure. Going to improvise and throw it away out of bounds.
See the band right there trying to get some catches in there, celebrating right there. You love to see everybody getting involved. But Caden Bennett able to feel that pressure, able to step up in the pocket, and then he's going to move outside and just doesn't see anything. So I'm going to stay alive right here. Something that we have not seen them do a lot, but they're going to stay alive right here with 40 seconds left.
And interesting, too, they're rocking and rolling with Bennett. We've seen Jaden Sauray, who technically got the start here this afternoon. But if you're a Hornets fan, you know they play both, and they like both a lot.
Yeah, James Jones. It's like James Jones and Marquise Gillis. You don't know exactly who's going to get that first reps, but it doesn't really matter for real because you know everybody's going to play.
That time it was James Jones on the carry. Timeout here at 34 seconds taken by the Hornets. Trailing by 11. Your thoughts thus far, Amon?
I think both teams have played very well. I think Delaware State has just not been able to get into the end zone. You know, they come back with a turnover with the strip sack. But SC State, something we said before, play your game, play your brand of football. And Deshaun Jackson is struggling a little bit so far. But he has to be proud of his team so far. It's a whole half of football left. And they're playing solid. They just have not been able to get into the end zone just yet. But they have threatened multiple times, and they're threatening again this drive.
It's who can manage the emotions. And head coach Deshaun Jackson talked about that this week, saying his team is confident. He tells them before each game to, quote-unquote, go be legendary. And I love that. You want to go be legendary, you go play well in the biggest game of the year.
Imagine how that feels as a player. Go be legendary. I'm going to try to do everything in my power to win that game.
3rd and 7. Bennett facing some pressure, lobs it up and incomplete. He was looking for Jaden Jenkins, and what do you do here on 4th down and 7 from the 31? You're looking at a 49-yard field goal from PFB. That's Patrick Fisher-Butler.
It's a great play right here by Bennett. If we can get that replay really quick, just to avoid a sack right there and just throw it downfield into no man's land. Just so that Delaware State can stay in field goal range.
Patrick Fisher-Butler has made a 44-yard field goal this afternoon for the Hornets' lone points of the game. This from 49 to bring them within 1 score. That kick is up, and that kick is no good for Patrick Fisher-Butler, and the Bulldogs' defense stands strong.
Yeah, unable to get that kick in there. Now 25 seconds left. 2 timeouts for SC State. They still have some time to get downfield, Darren. I don't know.
2 timeouts, 25 seconds. Head coach Chennis Berry has done more with less.
It's a phenomenal coach. It's a phenomenal coach right there, Darren. And you see this offense come out into the field. They have so many options at receiver that everything is an option right now. Everything is you have a chance to do anything right now with these 25 seconds. But a little bit amount of time, 2 timeouts. You want to try to get a good play, actually.
And it looks like the Bulldogs just may be content with their 11-point lead. And that's exactly right. Defense has made its mark early. A 10-yard Jordan Smith touchdown catch. And a pick 6 from Jalen Levine has South Carolina State in control, 14-3, halfway through this one.
Yeah, Darren, it's just a great first half on both sides of the ball. It's so good. It's a defensive game, but it's so good. You honestly don't want to have a halftime right here. You just want to keep it here and just let them keep playing. Just let them keep going right here. But great defensive game for both sides. But Atkins has definitely separated himself, 10 for 16, 175 passing yards, and one passing touchdown, 67 yards, his longest pass.
Here's Kendall with South Carolina State head coach Chennis Berry.
Coach, your defense with some early pressure. How have they been able to impact this game?
Our defense is playing lights out right now. But, again, we got 30 more minutes. You know, for us, it's about playing a 60-minute game. I tell you what, our defense is really playing all over, all 3 levels, the front, second level, and our third level, playing an outstanding job first half.
Your quarterback Atkins making some strong plays. What more do you want to see from the offense?
Well, we just got to be consistent. We just showed what we're capable of doing. We just took that last drive 80 yards for a touchdown. So we have some good things that we're doing. We just got to be consistent, and we got to finish these next 30 minutes the right way.
Thanks, Coach.
Let's get it. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs is right. Thank you so much, Kendall. There you heard it from the 2024 MEAC Coach of the Year, Chennis Berry. His Dogs in front 14-3 over Delaware State on a championship Saturday. Halftime here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. as the Marching 101, South Carolina State's tremendous marching band, serenading the crowd. Well, they've had a lot to cheer about, especially if you are a fan of that team from Orangeburg. 14-3, South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. Winner claims the MEAC crown and punches its ticket to the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Darren Zaslow, Ahmad Garnett, Kendall Lanier, happy to have you along. Let's take a look at your first half stats, Ahmad. We talked about it. Defense really played a big role early in this game, and then South Carolina State's offense found its groove on a 10-yard pitch and catch. Atkins to Jordan Smith.
Yards-wise, SC State is not stopping the run. 221 rushing yards for Delaware State right there. But you see a balanced attack. 175 passing yards, 213 total offensive yards. And Delaware State is actually beating them in total yards of offense. But 2 third-down conversions, SC State down in time of possession. If you're looking at these stats, you would think you honestly would see it, and the score might not tell you that. Delaware State is playing a phenomenal football game, but SC State is doing it just as good.
The difference in this game, in my humble opinion, my 2 cents, it's worth less than that, is the Jalen Levine pick six in the first quarter for South Carolina State.
Yes.
That's what gives the Bulldogs a comfortable 14-3 advantage over Delaware State here at halftime in Dover, right here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. 14-3, South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. The DSU marching band, the approaching storm, no longer approaching. They are here with their halftime performance. And speaking of halftime, let's take a look at your halftime stats. You know what, Ahmad, when you take a look at both of these teams, you've seen the splash plays, the Jalen Levine halftime highlights here, the Jalen Levine pick six here as your number one highlight, and then a great defensive play by Jabin Ford on the other South Carolina State interception.
Yeah, just making a lot of plays, a lot of rough hitting in that first half. You'd love to see it. Then the fumble right here, Kayvon Chisholm right there coughing up the ball, and Delaware State able to get on top of it. Then the pass downfield right here. Look at that. Jordan Smith right there has been phenomenal in this game so far. 4 receptions, 53 yards, and then that touchdown coming in right there, that extra effort right there. Been a phenomenal first half for SC State. William Atkins has been doing his thing. Jordan Smith has been doing his thing. And then right there, that field goal, no good for Delaware State. That has been the story of that first half. Right there, a late pass to start off the game to get that pick six.
That's how we get to our 14-3 score. South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. The approaching storm making their presence known here in Dover. It's halftime right here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. Back here in Dover, halftime score, South Carolina State 14, Delaware State 3. Really, really cool story about the marching band that you see on your screen right now. It's Delaware State's marching band, the Approaching Storm. And just like the Hornets football team has a first-year head coach in Deshaun Jackson, the Approaching Storm has a first-year director in Eugene Diggs, who is a Morgan State alum and previously directed the band program at Lincoln University in Missouri. Really cool relationship between Diggs and Jackson, who both meet all the time to talk about what music the Approaching Storm can play to hype up the Hornets football players. And when you take a look at what Diggs has done with this marching band program, they currently have 108 members, but he is hoping to increase that to either 170 or 180 as similar recruiting occurs in marching band like it does for college football. Last weekend, Delaware State's marching band hosted a really, really cool event, a high school band day that attracted 350 prospective students to the area. Diggs would like the most talented to come in March in the Approaching Storm for Delaware State. So a really, really cool connection between Eugene Diggs and Deshaun Jackson, and that is why music and marching band means so much here in Dover. Once again, your halftime score is South Carolina State 14, Delaware State 3, right here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. December here in Dover. The MEAC Championship on the line, 14-3. South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. Our own Kendall Lanier caught up with Deshaun Jackson to grab his thoughts out of the locker room.
Coach, what was the message in the locker room to get this offense going?
Got 30 minutes left, man. That's all we got. We got to give it our all, man. They played a heck of a first half. We didn't play our best ball, so that's all we got left, man. This is the only guaranteed 30 minutes we got left of our season, so we got to put it on the line.
What does your defense need to do to continue the momentum they had in the first half?
I mean, they made a few big plays. Besides that, I think the defense did a heck of a job, man. We're going to continue to do what we need to do and, just apply pressure and just get some stops. We need a big stop right here coming out of halftime.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Darren, back to you.
Thank you so much, Kendall. Let's play some more MEAC football here. Second half ready to go. Darren Zaslow, Ahmad Garnett, and Kendall Lanier, happy to have you along. 14-3, South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. Dyson Roberts will squib it away. Picked up there by the up man, and down he goes. That was Josh Shaw picking it up, and South Carolina State, Ahmad, really looking to pick up right where it left off.
Yeah, phenomenal 80-yard drive down the field, like Chinnisberry said, right there before halftime, to get them down the field for a touchdown. You want to see them start looking just right back to it and just get downfield again for a touchdown.
Delaware State's defense has gotten stops when it has needed bend but don't break.
Yeah, bend but don't break defense has been the style for both teams, honestly. Delaware State offense has been in the red zone twice and been stopped. SC State offense has also been in the red zone a couple of times and has been stopped. 7 points coming off an interception return, another 7 points coming off an offensive drive for 80 yards for a touchdown. So finding consistency for both teams is something they wanted to do.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from their 28. This is Tyler Smith dancing, and not a whole lot of running room for the redshirt junior. Tyler Smith at running back. You got that three-headed monster, if you will, at running back. Tyler Smith, KZ Adams, Josh Shaw. 3 talented guys with depth at a much-needed position.
Yeah, and they all do things a little bit differently as well. One is able to just get downfield and get some yards for each of those backs right there for SC State.
After the 2-yard pickup, this is Tyler Smith with a hole and a nice first down run for Tyler Smith up past the 40.
This is the plays you want to see coming into the second half. Your SC State just settling in, getting a couple of run plays, now leading to a first down, and now set up for a potential play-action play right here.
We've seen Jordan Smith getting involved for this Bulldogs team. Already has a 10-yard touchdown reception, his 7th of the year. We'll see if they look to get him more involved once again here in the second half. After the first down run, Atkins going to the air. Wants to go deep down the far sideline and almost intercepted. In the right place at the right time was Wayne Favors III. Had a 91-yard pick six last week in the win over Howard. Almost had another game-changing play right there.
Yeah, Nigel Johnson has 2 receptions for 74 yards. You see Atkins looking downfield for him right there. Just double coverage right there and almost an interception. Delaware State would have loved that one right there to start off this second half.
2nd and 10 from the 41 of South Carolina State. We'll see if Billy Atkins wants to go back to the air. They're going to go on the ground. This is once again Tyler Smith, shaken and bacon for a few to bring up 3rd down. If you're Delaware State, you need a stop here. Get some momentum coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, you definitely need a stop right here. Tyler Smith right there with a patient rush right there, able to get 5 yards right there. It was a tough 5 yards, had to be real patient for it, get upfield, and gets brought down right there. But Delaware State looking to get a stop right here on that 3rd and 6. Correction, was a 4-yard gain right there, Darren.
3rd and 6 here from the Bulldogs' 45-yard line. Josh Shaw in at running back for South Carolina State. As Billy Atkins going with that sugar cadence, the clap of the hands, the look to the sideline to get the play call.
Yeah.
5 seconds left here on the play clock.
36.
Johnson in motion. Here's Billy Atkins lobbing it up deep. Some contact and no call.
Yeah. No call right there. It looked like they were both doing a little bit of hand fighting. Nigel Johnson a little bit upset about that one, but in Delaware State, the faithful Hornet fans here love that call. No call right there.
That is exactly what you need if you are a Hornets fan. Jadarius Perkins on the coverage for Delaware State.
Yeah, Nigel Johnson still on the sideline, just talking to himself right there, just kind of upset, looking for that pass interference call, not going to get it right there.
Stands absolutely packed here on a championship Saturday. Elliot Yanish to punt it away, averaging 39 yards per punt. Jaden Jenkins back deep for the Hornets. This could be returnable for Jenkins. He'll let it bounce at the 20. Angles inside the 10, now inside the 5, and that is a dime of a punt from Elliot Yanish. Down at the 3. Flag thrown as well at the 45. And we'll see what that is all about as well.
Looks like to be the spot of the line of scrimmage, so did somebody leave early as we get the call?
We'll hear from Jason Soisman. And a personal foul on the Hornets. Again, Ahmad, we've talked about penalties. Delaware State came in as the most penalized team in the MEAC. 10 penalties per game for 98 yards. And that's not going to help a whole lot.
Yeah, that's something you don't need. Already being down at about the 4-yard line moves them all the way down, just as much far as back they can go to the 1-yard line. And just John Jackson talking to the officials, trying to figure out exactly what that call was, and he does not agree with it at all.
12:44 to go in the third. Hornets get a stop on the Bulldogs' opening drive. Delaware State going to have to go 99 yards. This is James Jones getting out of his own end zone, cuts to the near sideline, and James Jones with a nice run. It's exactly what you want on first down if you're a Hornets fan.
Yeah, I was looking at James Jones getting that ball in the backfield, and I saw that hole coming open. I said, oh, he has a potential to get downfield fast, and he was able to get downfield, just get them away from that 1-yard line, just get to the outside. He was waiting for that off tackle right there, able to get some speed. That grab of his leg right there pushed him out of bounds right there, able to save a big play. South Carolina State is.
You talk about coming into your own. At Louisiana Monroe last year, James Jones, 336 rush yards and 3 total touchdowns in 10 games. How about this year, entering play, 837 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, good for third best in the MEAC. As his buddy, Marquise Gillis, getting a carry right there.
Yeah, James Jones, 9.6 per carry. As you see right there, that first run they had to begin the drive, about 10 or 15 yards to move him upfield. And then Marquise Gillis, in between the tackles, averaging 6 yards a carry coming into play today.
And gets a 5-yard run right there, does Marquise Gillis. Really nice.
Close to his average right there.
You hit the nail on the head. 2nd and 5 here from the Delaware State 20-yard line. Caden Bennett still in at quarterback, has shown off the wheels. Going to take off there. This is a broken play. Bennett makes something happen. Man, when he gets going, it's hard to catch up with him.
Yeah,
that's off a broken play.
Yeah, that's a broken play right there. Sean Weston was supposed to get that handoff, but maybe Caden Bennett tapping himself. Maybe that was his fault right there. Maybe it was supposed to be a read option call on that play. Doesn't matter. Sean right there, Winston right there with that block right there to get Caden Bennett up the field, enough for that first down.
It's another 5-yard pickup. Delaware State would love some points to try to cut this to a one-possession game. This is Sean Weston off the right side, breaks free and almost loose, but a big-time tackle there for South Carolina State, and Roderick Kelly on the stop the sophomore.
Yeah, Roderick Kelly just grabbing a handful of jersey right there. They tell you not to arm tackle right here, but able to just grab a handful of jersey and swing them to the ground right here, just save a touchdown-looking play.
Delaware State getting some big-time contributions from everyone. Gillis, Jones, Weston there off the 7-yard run. Hornets go back to the ground. There's Marquise Gillis with a hole. Gillis with a head of steam. Is anyone going to catch him? The answer is no. Marquise Gillis with a massive run, his 9th score of the year, perhaps none bigger than that one.
Look at that, Darren. What have we said about James Jones and Marquise Gillis? Marquise Gillis in between the tackles, James Jones on the outside. You see both of them this drive. Right through the middle, untouched, touchdown. Nobody's going to catch him when he's moving that fast.
That's what Marquise Gillis can do to you. Huge run, 9th touchdown of the year for Gillis. Patrick Fisher-Butler on for the PAT to bring the Hornets within 4. Kick is up, and it is good. Marquise Gillis, the Milford, Delaware native, providing the spark the Hornets need. A big touchdown pulls DSU within 4. 14-10, South Carolina State here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. Hornets Nation is fired up in Dover. There you see the approaching storm. They've had a lot to cheer about, coming off a 68-yard touchdown run for Marquise Gillis, making it a 14-10 game. It's a loose football picked up there by South Carolina State off the short kick. And Hornets Nation buzzing after the big Gillis touchdown run, Ahmad. Yeah,
as we went to break, you see the crowd just really getting into it. Marquise Gillis in between the tackles right there, just up the middle of the field, 68 yards for the touchdown. Now this gets the momentum flipped right here. Delaware State has the momentum already with the stop, and then that 68-yard touchdown. SC State needs to settle back in right here and try to get down the field.
Could be the biggest defensive possession thus far for Delaware State. So far, you'll hear us say that a lot this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
1st and 10 here for South Carolina State from their 30-yard line. This is Shaw with a hole, picks up the first down, and gets dragged down right near the 45. Josh Shaw standing at 5'11", 220 pounds. Shaw is tough to bring down.
Yeah, Josh Shaw right there, getting through the hole right there, breaking a couple of tackles and just moving downfield. Now, SC State looking to pick up that tempo right there.
They'll officially mark it at the 44 of the Bulldogs. Can the Hornets get a big stomp? They go back to Shaw and has nowhere to go. Brian Bates and company all over it for a modest 1-yard gain.
Yeah, Darren, like you just said, and company. It was 7 Delaware State players around the football right there to bring him down after that big rush. You know, they're going to try to stop the run right here and try to mess with South Carolina's tempo right here.
Here is 2nd and 9 for the defending MEAC champion Bulldogs. Atkins give to Shaw again. Not a whole lot of running room, and the Hornets are all over it.
Another short run right there, Darren. Going to move it to 3rd down right here. It's going to be a 3rd and 7, about 3rd and 8 right there.
And you don't want to get too conservative because Hornets Nation is on their feet here on a big 3rd down. What do the Bulldogs want to do on 3rd and 8? Huge play. Atkins out of the gun, 3 wide receivers set here for South Carolina State. Snap to Atkins, steps up, buys some time, takes off, down he goes! The Hornets are all over it on a big 3rd down stop. How do you like Quincy Robinson?
Saw that celebration right there, Darren. I love that celebration right there. But SC State, that motion to the outside identifies the coverage. You see man-to-man, and now it's just pressure and trying to get open. But Delaware State does a phenomenal job of just holding them right there, nowhere to go as the punt unit comes out.
Giannis back to punt. Jenkins back deep to receive for Delaware State. Giannis gets it away. Bounces inside the 5, takes a Bulldogs bounce, and it will be down right near the 5. A tremendous punt from Elliot Giannis. Delaware State will take over at its own 5-yard line. When we come back, 14-10 South Carolina State, but the Hornets are buzzing with a comeback. State on top of Delaware State midway through the third. Delaware State has rushed for 320 yards so far. James Jones, a big reason why. Ahmad, who has already eclipsed 100 this afternoon.
Yeah, 114 rushing yards so far. And then Marquise Gillis right here with 100 rushing yards in this game. Trying to get the outside James Jones was, and then he's going to cut it back in right there, but just slips after a minimum gain.
Not bad against a South Carolina State rushing defense that is only giving up about 114 rush yards per game this year, the best in the MEAC. That's the mano-a-mano matchup we've been talking about. Here's second down. Inside give to Gillis. Already has a 68-yard touchdown run to his name this afternoon and eclipses 100 yards right there with that second down carry.
Yeah, almost right there, trying to get up the middle of the field right there. Almost is right up the middle of the field in between the tackles. One play right there just drags him down right there. That's a great tackle right there to hold a big play.
Bennett gets rid of it, and that's a first down catch. Nathan Stewart hauls it in the ground.
Yeah, great catch right there by Nathan Stewart, just getting that first down right there. Darren just getting that tempo up and just trying to stay on the field. The Delaware State Hornets still down by 4, but they're threatening.
What a game.
Phenomenal.
Just what you wanted to be decided on the last week of the season. James Jones off the left side with a hole, and a flag flies behind the play. Could this be holding against Delaware State?
We're going to see right here, Darren, but we get the call from the officials right there. James Jones they know what they're doing with those outside runs, those outside zones from James Jones. Is going to be a hold against Delaware State. It's going to knock them back 10 yards. Those are drive killers. Those penalties we talked about, you didn't want to see. Deshaun Jackson, a bit frustrated on that. Penalty number 5 on the day for Delaware State. Came in averaging 10 per game. Yeah, that hook on the backside right there. That offensive lineman back there just can't do that. Just got to let him go after the running back gets past. So here we go. Bennett going to keep it himself and has absolutely nowhere to go. Ball came out late. And again, you talk about differences in this game. And it's the penalties for sure. And it looks like one of the linemen got rolled up on. Ooh, that looked like that one hurt right there. That's Takai Wallace. Takai Wallace right there. Just get his leg swallowed up right there. He's in a lot of pain right there. What a game it has been so far. Yeah, it's been Take a look, at 2 of those big interceptions for South Carolina State. The pick 6 by Jalen Levine. Mm-hmm. Jabin Ford with the interception in the end zone for South Carolina State as well. You get even 3 points on one of those drives, especially on the interception thrown in the end zone. It's a totally different game. Exactly. And Coach Berry has preached consistency at halftime, and you want to stay consistent coming into this third quarter, going into the fourth quarter with 5:43 left. It's a fast third quarter that's been moving so far. But we look at the stats. Atkins, 10 for 18, 175 passing yards and 1 passing touchdown. Tyler Smith, 11 carries, 47 yards on the day. And Josh Shaw, 6 carries, 22 yards on the day. He's able to get up and walk off on his old power. That is great to see because it looked like his leg got swallowed up pretty bad. Probably just hurt for a while. It's one of those things that potentially hopefully goes away. Yeah, that's Takai Wallace. 6'5", 315, redshirt sophomore out of Prince George's County, Maryland. Played in 10 games last year, did Wallace. One of those guys that head coach Deshaun Jackson, tabbing as a cornerstone, if you will. Somebody that has familiarity with the program, wants to come back and play in the New Jack era, if you will. And those are the guys that you need who could have left. Exactly, and getting those recruits to stay is so big for Deshaun Jackson. You're exactly right. Bennett getting rid of it and undershoots his intended receiver. He's looking there for Nige Lawley. Had him, but couldn't find him. Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 21 right there. Just unable to get to him, just short right there. He threw that ball with a lot of power, a lot of speed right there, Bennett, but he had enough space right there. He could have took a little bit off of it just to make sure that he got it to him. 3rd down and 20
from the Delaware State 10. You got to be smart here, because the last time the Hornets were backed up, it was a pick six. Maybe take the high road and live to fight another day. They get the ball to the outside. That's Terrence Roan, and he gets dragged down to bring up 4th down. It's a big stop for South Carolina State, and on the tackle there was Tyler Jones.
That's a smart play call by Delaware State right there. Just a screen to try to get him some yards to move upfield, but Tyler Jones right there, a great open field tackle to bring him down. SC State, after giving up that touchdown, standing tall.
Weathering the storm, if you will. Pickup of 5, 4th and 15. Dyson Roberts will boot it away with his heels on the goal line. And back deep for South Carolina State is Jalen Johnson. Roberts takes the low snap. Gets a good punt away. Gets hit hard. Ball bounces at the 50 into the hands of Johnson, who is taken down. Roberts down on his back inside the 5. Johnson taken down as well, with a 4-point South Carolina State lead. 4:34 to go here in quarter number 3. 14-10, South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. 4.5 to go in the third. Kendall Lanier, Delaware State really relying on their workhorse, Marquise Gillis, this afternoon.
After Marquise Gillis' last touchdown, he came over to the sideline, stepped on the bench, and started hyping up this crowd. He's been a hometown kid through and through after starting his career as a Hornet and now ending his career as a Hornet as well. He's been someone who has stuck to this program all season long, has learned a lot about himself, how to stay disciplined and fight through the hard times. I asked him about his relationship with Coach Jackson, and he said that we have a strong bond and that he has his back, and he's been riding with him through this all season long, and he's looking forward to continuing their relationship after this season is over. Darren?
So much, Kendall. I mean, look, there's a reason why Delaware State has the best rushing offense in the FCS, and that is because of the play of guys like Marquise Gillis. Deep ball caught for South Carolina State, and a splash play, perhaps the biggest of the game, to the speedy Johnny Jones.
Phenomenal play right there by SC State as we get ready to get this replay. Johnny Jones using his speed right there on a double move. Get Atkins outside, just down the field. Johnny Jones, and then able to break that tackle right there to get in the end zone is so huge.
Billy Atkins, what a play. Second passing score of the game for Atkins, and Johnny Jones with that speed beating the secondary of the Hornets for 6.
Yeah, getting back on the scoreboard for SC State is huge right here, going back up by 2 possessions.
Cavanius Altis, PAT, is good. And just like that, South Carolina State extends its lead right back to 11. It's 21-10.
Yeah, veteran teams right here make veteran plays. And this is a veteran play right here to get that touchdown going into it. Late in the third quarter, getting up by 2 possessions again. Delaware State back on their heels now. SC State feeling the momentum.
The question is, can the Hornets answer back again in what has been a back-and-forth game? But South Carolina State, there is a reason their second-year head coach, Chennis Berry, has not lost a conference game dating back to 2021 during his head coaching days at Division II Benedict. Berry is 28-0 in conference games. You just don't beat Chennis, do you?
Yeah, that is a fascinating stat. That shows you how good of a coach Chennis is, one, and it shows that it rubs off on every program that he goes to. It's 2 different programs where he's not lost an in-conference game. Just going to those playoffs and going to those championships in every conference he's been in as a head coach.
Here's Kyrie Benton on the return for the Hornets. Gets upended, and a flag flies as on the tackle there for South Carolina State was their redshirt freshman Antoine McCray.
That's a great play right there for a freshman to get your name known right there, coming down the field and making a great tackle right there. Flipped his defender, flipped the offensive receiver right there.
Now we're going to hear from Jason Soisman on what this flag is all about. Did McCray go low for the knees? Hard to know. And nope. It's going to be an offensive penalty.
Yeah, McCray was actually being blocked in the back all the way downfield. So one is declined and one is staying. It looked like it was 2 blocking the backs right there.
So once again, it's the self-inflicted adversity here by Delaware State with these penalties.
Yeah, 6 penalties on the game so far. They're averaging about 100 penalty yards per game. It's just something that you don't want to see. It's a young team, still learning, still getting ready.
Big drive here for the Hornets if they want to stay in this game. 3:49 to go in the third. Bennett rolling to his right, gets rid of it, and Marquise Gillis that was Gillis who got clocked. Another hard hit from this South Carolina State defense. Jabin Ford, who already has a pick.
Yeah, we've seen a heavy dosage of Caden Bennett so far in this second half. Haven't seen Jaden Saray come back out on the field just yet, but Caden Bennett has been commanding this offense so far, just rolling out right there, trying to get it off to his guy Marquise Gillis, and nowhere to go for Marquise Gillis.
And check that was Jaden Jenkins, the intended receiver. Here is Marquise Gillis with a hole, picks up the first down, and Gillis gets up across the 30-yard line. So that's what Marquise Gillis can do to you. Finds the hole and breaks free for the first down pickup.
Up the middle again, Darren. We've mentioned that multiple times. In between those tackles from Marquise Gillis, that offensive line of Delaware State just able to block very well. Just open up a lane for him. All Marquise Gillis needs is a glimpse, and he's able to get downfield.
Tremendous run from Gillis, who will take a breather. James Jones in for him. To the 34 go the Hornets. This is James Jones. And doesn't really have a whole lot of running room. Had difficulty there even grasping the football. And another injury here for Delaware State on its offensive line. Looks like Elijah Payne.
Yeah, another offensive lineman that might have got his leg swallowed up.
Transfer out of Arizona. Did not play a game for the Wildcats, though, over the last 2 years. Really coming into his own here in Dover. And a couple injuries to this Delaware State offensive line, but the Hornets still running the ball with absolute tremendous success. 326 yards on the ground for Delaware State. The problem, those 2 costly interceptions.
Yeah, that is over their game total per year for the year for Delaware State. But those interceptions just very costly. One early that turned into a pick 6. Another one in the end zone, which could have been a touchdown. 2 monumental plays for this game, Darren, that just could potentially hurt Delaware State down the road.
So that's a 14-point swing right there if you do the math. 6 Delaware State penalties as well for 55 yards. It's difficult to beat South Carolina State to begin with if you play a perfect game.
Exactly.
It's even more difficult to turn the ball over twice, one of those resulting in an immediate touchdown, and the 6 penalties.
That's what makes Chennis Berry an amazing head coach right there, is just his ability to get every team to play consistent, all 3 phases football for whoever's he's coaching right there. You can't make mistakes against this team because they're going to take advantage of it.
Good to see Payne there walk off the field under his own power. Delaware State looking to hang around in this football game. 2nd and 10 for the Hornets from their 34. Caden Bennett still in at quarterback. Split backfield. Bennett wants to go deep down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete, and a flag thrown. He was looking deep for Naiji Lally.
Actually, Darren, I don't think he was the intended receiver right there. It was a man streaking down the middle of the field that was wide open. I think Bennett was trying to hit him, but that ball ended up sailing on him.
Right.
And
let's take another look.
He just ended up going for the ball right there. It is pass interference, but
Roan.
Right there.
Yeah. Terrence Roan. You're right. Right up the seam.
Right up the seam. Yeah. Wide open was Terrence Roan, and Bennett just not able to get it to him. SC State fans who traveled down are not liking that call.
It's on Levine. That'll give Delaware State the extra 15 yards to their 49 here on first down. Hornets wanting to play quickly. Going back to that split backfield look here with Caden Bennett. Takes the low snap. Keeps it on the option. And down he goes. South Carolina State all over it. That's Malik Harp, a Division II transfer out of Fort Valley State.
Yeah, Malik Harp right in there for that tackle, just shutting down that read option. Bennett with nowhere to go.
Entered play with 45 tackles, did Malik Harp, grad student, second most tackles on the team. Entering play this afternoon and a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11 here for Delaware State. Clock winding here near 2 minutes left in the third. Caden Bennett has some time, extends the play, puts it up, and it's hauled in! Kyrie Benton with a tremendous play.
Let's go. Kyrie Benton right there, just climbing the ladder right there. I'm going to go up there, I'm going to climb the ladder, and I'm going to get that ball. Great throw by Bennett right there. Just climb the ladder, and I'm going to catch those with my hands right there. Gets Delaware State into the other side of the field right there. Darren, that was a phenomenal catch.
And much needed, too. Hornets need points out of this drive. Hornets Nation loving it to the Bulldog 34. Caden Bennett finding some rhythm. Does this team still have some magic left in it? Bennett on the keeper, makes a man miss. Caden Bennett to the outside. Down the sideline goes Caden Bennett. He's dragged inside the 5, and a flag comes out late.
Yeah, Caden Bennett right there. Just a couple of great cuts getting up. Flags come in on that tackle. It might be maybe a late block, or could be something on SC State right there as we wait to get the call from the officials.
Face mask on South Carolina State. Take another look here on the replay. Caden Bennett with a tremendous run, and they'll whistle that on Tyler Jones.
Yeah, that was a rough face mask call right there. So bad it brought Bennett out the game. Jaden Saray seeing his first time in the second half with 1:11 left in the third quarter.
If the Hornets score here, can you imagine what this crowd will be like in the fourth?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to set us up for an amazing ending there.
Jaden Saray in at quarterback for Delaware State. Give to James Jones, who is met immediately. Under 1 minute to go here in the third quarter of play.
James Jones met by multiple SC State Bulldog defenders right there. Nowhere to go. Couple of rough tackles right there.
Looks like a flag thrown in the end zone. And we'll see what this is all about. Here's Jason Soisman. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Delaware State. Not going to help when you're down by 11 here late in the third.
Yeah, don't need that. Unsportsmanlike call is going to knock them back 15 yards after going nowhere on that rush. As we try to see what the call is right here. It's like everybody just got up.
Yeah, hard to know from that camera angle there. But, again, you talk about the things that you don't need, right? The self-inflicted wounds. And that's it right there.
Yeah, the 7th penalty right there for Delaware State, something that you don't need.
You need at least 3 here. You would love more. As they get ready to resume play here on the field.
Caden Bennett back on the field, Darren.
That's right. As it goes from 2nd and goal, they're going to send Bennett in motion. Gillis going to take the Wildcat snap. There goes Marquise Gillis inside the 15. So it'll bring up 3rd and goal and manageable.
Kind of manageable, still outside of that 10-yard range right there, Darren, but a great play call to get Marquise Gillis up the middle of the field on that Wildcat formation right there. Just able to follow his blocks right there and just get some yards to make it kind of manageable as we head into this fourth quarter, Darren.
That's the final play of the third quarter. What does quarter number 4 have in store? The MEAC title on the line to be decided, hey, maybe in the next 15 game minutes. 21-10, South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. It's the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+.
before we get that 3rd and 13 play, we're going to see that unsportsmanlike conduct right here. 12 on 12 right there is going to be Maurice Clark. And Jared Washington right there with that call is going to be for that unsportsmanlike conduct.
And then on the 3rd and 13, not a whole lot of room to go for Caden Bennett, who is sacked and dropped, bringing up a field goal situation here for the Hornets and Patrick Fisher-Butler.
Yeah, we said on break, Darren, they at least got to get 3 right here to still have a fighting chance within this contest, even though it's a lot of time left, 15 whole minutes left in the 4th quarter. So getting this 3 up would be big to helping Delaware State try to come back, but SC State offense is still moving down the field very well.
Fisher-Butler, 35-yard field goal attempt is up, and he missed it. Fisher-Butler 1 for 3 this afternoon, and once again the Bulldogs bend, but they do not break.
Yeah, Bulldogs, again, there's both sides of the ball playing consistently well so far in this second half, and that missed field goal goes in their favor.
When you play South Carolina State, you have to limit the things that you can control, the controllables.
Yes, exactly.
Because it is difficult to beat them to begin with.
Yeah, like we said before, you just can't have those mistakes, those penalties or those interceptions or anything like that. You can't have those mistakes playing a veteran team who has already been and won the MEAC championship last year. They know what it takes, and Delaware State still trying to find out what it takes in this 4th quarter.
South Carolina State with 19 MEAC championships, more than any other program. To beat the hunted, you have to play perfectly.
Exactly. It's something we just mentioned before again and again.
Right.
Perfect football from Delaware State is necessary to try to beat this team, as this run by Tyler Smith able to just get upfield for maybe 1 or 2 yards, but thrown all the way back right there.
2nd and 8 here for South Carolina State. The Bulldogs up by 11. Want to be smart, of course. Atkins out to the flat. Tyler Smith on the reception. Gets up past the 25. It's going to bring up 3rd down. And if you are the Hornets, you need a stop right now.
Yeah, and Atkins right here, just look at him going through his progressions right here to get the ball downfield. Don't see anything downfield. I'm going to dump it off to Tyler Smith right here. Nowhere to go, nowhere to go. I'm going to throw it off to my running back. He's going to move up the field 3 yards and get out of bounds for me so we can get it to a 3rd and manageable.
Atkins 13 of 21 on the afternoon. 3rd and 4. Hornets need a stop. Josh Shaw into the backfield for South Carolina State. 3 receivers set for Billy Atkins and company. And there's that sugar play call cadence once again. Jalen Johnson, the single receiver off to the near side. Whistle and a timeout taken by South Carolina State. And we'll be right back. 21-10. Bulldogs on top of the Hornets right here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. Yes. And that is because of the play of South Carolina State lineman Shamon Price, the injured Bulldog, able to walk off the field under his own power. 21-10, South Carolina State on top of Delaware State. 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs here from their 26-yard line. Another 3 wide receiver look here for South Carolina State. Jalen Jones, single receiver off to the right side of the formation. Atkins takes the snap, gets rid of it quickly, and it's incomplete. On the coverage for DSU is Anthony Hebert, the senior out of Riverside, California.
Yeah, Delaware State able to get the stop right there. There's nowhere to go. That out route was very well covered right there and just wasn't catchable for him right there. But Delaware State able to get the stop. SC State nowhere to go. So Delaware State another chance. 12:47 left. Still a lot of time left in this 4th quarter there.
Giannis to punt it away. Jenkins back deep. Should be returnable there for Jaden. Makes the catch at his 30. Makes a couple men miss. Jaden Jenkins with a burst across the 45. And excellent field position here for Delaware State, trailing by 11. 12:36 to go.
Yeah, that shimmy at the beginning of the return right there is able to move him up 15 yards. Look, excuse me, right there. I'm going to move upfield. I'm going to get a block right there, and then I'm content with what I got. I did what I needed for my team. Get him close to midfield.
And a high five from head coach Deshaun Jackson sets up the Hornets at their 49. You got to score if you're DSU.
Yeah, you definitely got to score. I wonder what the returner conversations is like with Deshaun Jackson.
Here's Sean Weston with a hole, picks up the first down, and he is tracked down from behind. Making a huge tackle is Malik Harp. It just may have saved the touchdown.
Yeah, Sean Weston, not part of that two-headed monster backfield, but he says, I'm the third monster in that backfield, and I'm going to get a big game right here.
To the 37 of the Bulldogs, Weston has to make something happen on his own and really is lucky to even get back to the line of scrimmage and does pick up one.
Yeah, tough gain of one right there. Darren just nowhere to go, is able to cut back a little bit, and I'm just going to get upfield, get my team one to move it to 2nd and 9.
Marquise Gillis, James Jones hustling back into the Delaware State backfield to join Caden Bennett. Huge opportunity here for the Hornets at the South Carolina State 36. Bennett has time, delivers over the middle, and that ball is caught. It's a first down for Delaware State. Getting suplexed right there is Kyrie Benton, and no call.
Yeah, the late flag comes in back there at the line, almost near the line of scrimmage, almost in the backfield. Maybe roughing the passer. Yes, it is. Roughing the passer against SC State. You saw Caden Bennett take a late hit right there on that play after releasing that ball. Kind of simultaneously, let me see, we don't get that replay angle right there, but able to hold the ball right there and body slam suplexes.
And Hornets Nation is on its feet.
Delaware State into the red zone now. Only is elapsed only a minute and about 15 seconds on this drive.
1st and goal at the Bulldogs 9. Bennett, option, Gillis, ripped down from behind. Nice tackle for South Carolina State. And on the stop, it was Brennan Scott, the senior.
Great shoelace tackle right there, able to get Gillis down after that read option on that play. Just grabs his leg right there and brings him down. Great tackle to hold him to minimum, maybe no gain right there on that play, Darren.
4-down territory?
Definitely 4-down territory. It's fourth quarter, you got to score. You need 6 right here, but I don't know if you're going to kick that field goal for 3.
After the 1-yard loss, here's James Jones, untouched. 10-yard touchdown run. James Jones in for 6, his 9th score of the season.
James Jones, what have we seen a lot this game? That outside zone, getting him outside, letting him use his speed as he celebrates outside zone, get off the tackle, and I'm going to get in there for a touchdown. Now, Darren, we have a ball game.
We have a ball game is right. Delaware State saying we are not done. Patrick Fisher-Butler on for the PAT to try and cut this deficit down from 5 to 4. Kick is up. Kick is good for PFB, and we have a ball game here at Alumni Stadium in Dover. Your score, Bulldogs 21, Hornets 17, 10:56 to go to decide the MEAC title. We have a ball game here at Alumni Stadium in Dover. A 10-yard James Jones touchdown run cuts the deficit to 4 for Delaware State. South Carolina State on top 21-17. Ahmad, we said at the beginning of the game, if you like defense, this is the game for you. But now if you like offense, check it out. Delaware State outgaining South Carolina State 471 to 312. 417 of those yards are on the ground.
Yeah, and they have 3 players there. 3 players with over 100 rushing yards. Gillis, 135 rushing yards with the touchdown. Bennett, 134 rushing yards, no touchdown. But 10 carries, 134 yards from your quarterback. It's huge. And James Jones, 11 carries, 121 rushing yards with a touchdown. They're all averaging above 10 yards a carry, which is huge.
How loud do you think this place is going to get?
Oh, yeah. We already were talking about the capacity here. It's at 7,000. It's got to be more than that in here right now. It's going to be bumping in here now.
1st and 10, inside give. That's Josh Shaw with a nice first down run up across the 30. Great job there from Shaw, standing at 5'11", 220 pounds out of Hannah, South Carolina.
And that 8-yard gain right there quiets the crowd down just a bit. Shaw is able to follow his blocks and move between the tackles and get some yards.
Picks up 8 yards. They go back to Shaw. Picks up the first down and rolls up across the 35.
Another great run right there by Shaw, as just getting some yards, moving the ball downfield, trying to see what they're doing right here, Darren, trying to take that clock down a little bit as we're at 10:15 left in the contest, about to get under 10 minutes.
It all comes down to these final 10 minutes to determine a winner of the MEAC. What a game it's been. South Carolina State's largest lead has been 11. It's down to 4. Atkins fakes the give, delivers over the middle, and that ball is dropped.
As Atkins, before that play call, he called something to his receivers kind of down to his side just to signal what he wanted them to do. As a quick game right there, play action, RPO action right there, and just a drop right there to an open receiver.
Yeah, looking for Sowell, the redshirt junior. Unable to corral it near midfield. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Darren, we haven't seen a lot of those outside passes that we saw in the first half from SC State. We haven't seen a lot of those in the second half so far. You had one at the end of the last drive, but it was an incomplete pass. But now just not seeing it a lot.
Atkins getting rid of it to the flat, caught there by Tyler Smith, runs over a man right near the first down marker. He will be very close to the first down, or he may have picked it up, and they're going to say move those chains for a Bulldog first down. Look at Tyler Smith.
Get out of my way. Come on. I got to get that first down for my team so we can keep this drive going, Tyler Smith says. You're just seeing a lot of those passes. Josh Shaw getting those runs, and then Tyler Smith just dumping it off out to him, out into the flats. SC State just taking what the defense gives them.
Up to their own 48 go the Bulldogs. Josh Shaw here met immediately. Hornets defense all over it. It's a big-time stop in a big-time place. Wow.
Yeah, great stop right there. Multiple Delaware State defenders in on that. I'm going to break a tackle. Look at that right there. My team's going to come help me out right there after that. Just nowhere for him to go.
Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. From the South Carolina State 48. Under 9 minutes to go in the contest. Atkins going to give it off to Josh Shaw with a hole. Josh Shaw deep into Hornets territory. Refusing to go down is Josh Shaw. Dedrick Gibson drags him down, but Josh Shaw has been rumbling for the Dogs.
Josh Shaw just walked down multiple defenders with him to get an extra 15 yards after that already good run. Look at this. Right here, I'm going to go up the middle, and then I'm going to bounce to the outside, and then get off of me. No, you're not strong enough. Get off of me. I'm going to stiff arm you down, and I'm going to get some more yards and get downfield. Get into the red zone for my team.
Shaw had 83 rushing yards, a touchdown, and a 41-yard rush last week in the win over NC Central. Do you go back to Josh? They will, and he has nowhere to go. Delaware State all over it once again. It's a big tackle for the Hornets. Sean Biggs.
Consistency just within these run game for SC State in the second half, just continuing to stick with it. Even if you did 1 or 2 yards or no yards on that first run, that second run, they always come back and get a big gain.
Sean Biggs, a Division II transfer out of Lenore-Rhine, had a couple tackles last week in the win over Howard. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Snap to Billy Atkins, going to give it off to Shaw, carrying multiple defenders on his back, and continues to churn right near the 10. Josh Shaw quite literally putting the Bulldogs on his back.
Darren, what did we just say? That first game, just nowhere to go, and then that second rush, something happens on second down to this SC State backfield. They just go crazy.
It's 3rd and 3 from the Hornets 9. This is the biggest play of the game so far. Do you go back to Josh Shaw? They do. Shaw with a hole. Gets near the first down marker, and they will blow the play dead. And they say that he will pick up that first down.
1st and goal. Darren, down to 6:30 left in the contest. Hopes for Delaware State slowly dwindling away, and SC State trying to get into the end zone to put the nail in the coffin.
1st and goal here for South Carolina State from the 6. Josh Shaw has been a force to be reckoned with on this drive for the Bulldogs. Atkins wants to throw this time. Steps up, takes off. Billy Atkins gets inside the 5. Modest gain for the Bulldogs signal caller.
Yeah, and those run plays always set up play action, but down here in the red zone, Delaware State is able to hold him in. Atkins just nowhere to go, has a decent amount of time, 2 or 3 seconds, and he's going to run out the pocket and just at least try to get a positive gain right there, Darren.
He gets to the 5s to bring up 2nd and goal from the 5. Atkins off the field now, and they're going to put in their backup, Ryan Stubblefield. 6 foot, 205-pound grad transfer from Houston, Texas. Whistle and a timeout. So that is interesting. An interesting decision there from the Bulldogs. We'll be right back with a big play coming up after this. 2nd and goal from the 5 for Bulldogs. 21-17. South Carolina State on top here with 5:16 to go in the fourth. South Carolina State looking to deliver the big blow, or will Delaware State's defense stand tall? 2nd and goal from the Hornets 5. Bulldogs looking to tack on more and go up 2 scores. Ryan Stubblefield in at quarterback for South Carolina State. Transfer at a UIW Incarnate Word. Gonna take it himself. There goes Stubblefield, and he waltzes into the end zone. Is that the dagger that the Bulldogs needed?
Darren, that might be the dagger. Stubblefield came into this game 143 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. You could take that up now to 5 rushing touchdowns on the year for Stubblefield. Just able to come in and do his job. His first time entering the game with 5 minutes left, and he's able to do his job and get into the end zone.
And he's thrown for over 1,000 yards this year, and he is a tremendous athlete. He can provide that spark when you need it most. Nico Cavanis to tack on the PAT. Kick is up and good. 28-17 Bulldogs.
Yeah, Darren, is just 5:11 left, 28-17. SC State with the lead. Delaware State down by 11. Only 5:11 to go. There's going to be a tough comeback for them to mount with 5 minutes left.
We'll send things down to our very own sideline reporter, Kendall Lanier, for more on South Carolina State head coach Chennis Berry.
Yeah, Coach Berry has been around HBCU football his whole life, and he says the opportunity to make an impact on these young men is not a role he takes lightly and gets him up every morning. For him, it comes down to the details, from what they eat, how they walk out, what they wear, because he says they're not only building strong football players, but strong men, community members, husbands, and fathers as well. Darren?
Yeah, Kendall, thanks so much. Head coach Chennis Berry, Ahmad, telling us this week he wants to make this a November to remember. I love that phrase, and the Bulldogs are 5 minutes and 11 seconds away from making it a November to remember.
Yeah, Josh Shaw was the bell cow on that last drive for SC State. 13 rushing attempts, 81 yards, 6.1 per carry.
Here's Kyrie Benton on the return for Delaware State. He's tripped up inside his own 20, and that's where the Hornets will take over. Coming up, our play of the game brought to you by the Residence Inn by Marriott Dover. Yeah, how do you like Jalen Levine? And we'll get to that just in a bit. Enjoy all the comforts and convenience of home in the heart of Dover. Located within minutes to Dover Downs, Delaware State University, and Dover Air Base. You can book your stay today. Call 302-677-0777. Delaware State down by 11, 5:05 to go. Can the Hornets find a way to score quickly and stay alive in this game as Sean Weston is ripped down? South Carolina State bringing that physicality. And when you have a linebacker as talented as Roderick Kelly, an Arkansas State transfer, bringing the boom.
Yeah, again, we're just grabbing a hold of them jerseys right there, Roderick Kelly is, and just bringing them down. He's just getting a hold of them. He said, these are some tough runners. I'm going to get a hold of them, and I'm going to bring them down to the ground.
3-yard gain there for Weston. Hornets trying to get back into that offensive groove. Bennett surveying the defense, steps up, gets rid of it, and has his man on the catch for the Hornets. That is Felipe Wesley.
Yeah, Bennett just going through his progressions, looking downfield, sees some pressure, steps up in the pocket, moves to his left, and able to just find for a quick 5-yard gain right there just to get it into third and manageable. It's going to be 3rd and 1 on his 4th down. A lot of time coming off the clock, Darren, under 4 minutes and 10 seconds now.
Hornets with 3 timeouts. There's the give. This is Marquise Gillis trying to break out of that tackle. Gets up across midfield and out of bounds. So Delaware State here not quitting. And when you've got those 3 timeouts left, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Still a decent amount of time left, 4 minutes. A lot of time coming off the clock, but Gillis able to get out of bounds after that big run to stop the clock as the clock is continuing to go on.
He gets up to the 48. Bennett extending the play. Still improvising is Caden Bennett. Has to do something with it. And down he goes. Dropped for a loss. Not a lot open for Caden Bennett. And we'll see if Delaware State wants to use one of those timeouts.
Yeah, Caden Bennett just nowhere to go. You got a little bit of time left in this contest. You got to look downfield, try to get it out of bounds, and not take a loss on this play. You did lose about 4 yards on that one, just something you don't need right there. And that clock continues to keep moving, under 3:30 now.
Loss of 6. Hornets got to move. 4 wide receivers set here for Delaware State and Caden Bennett. Takes the snap. Rolling right. Gets rid of it, and it is incomplete. Looking towards that far sideline to Nathan Stewart.
Yeah,
bring up 3rd down.
Trying to make a play, Bennett right there. Just Nathan Stewart blanketed on that play with 3:07 left and a 3rd and 16 on that play. On that next play coming up, Bennett just looking downfield, just blanketed. 2 defenders on him, almost intercepted. As Delaware State, the last 2 plays potentially before this contest may be over for them.
Gerard Washington on the pass breakup here on 3rd and 16 from the Hornets 42. Caden Bennett with some time, extends the play, rolls to his right, takes off, flag thrown behind the play. And we'll see if this is a holding call here on the Hornets. Flag thrown in the Delaware State backfield.
Yeah, this SC State only sent 3 on that play, but it's in the area of holding near that offensive line, near the line of scrimmage on that play. Now, does Chennisberry want to take it or decline it?
It looks like they will decline it. Jared Washington on the stop for South Carolina State. And there's Chennisberry hyping up the Orangeburg faithful.
Yeah, he knows what is at stake right here. Back-to-back trips to the Celebration Bowl, as it's going to be 4th down. 2:50 left and the clock is running down. Delaware State elects to take a timeout right here.
It's a smart move with 2:49 left in the contest. Bulldogs know what's at stake. We talked to head coach Chennisberry about it. He said we have to win in all 3 phases. And when you play the likes earlier on this year of South Carolina, a team that the Bulldogs were beating after 1 quarter of play on the road in Columbia, taking on South Florida as well, it's a battle-tested team that has won in all 3 phases of this game.
Exactly. They have won in all 3 phases, and that's one of the keys. We go back to the keys of the game. Play your game. That's something that SC State has done all year long. The Bulldogs have played well in all 3 phases of football. They have done it here today. 2 early turnovers that got the momentum on their side, and Delaware State has been scrapping right here. The Hornets have been trying to sting, but the Bulldogs just running away from them.
Chennisberry was asked why he hasn't lost a conference game in 4 years. And he said that he's just consistent with his staff, with his players, in the classroom, weight room, and on the field. It's a holistic approach.
Exactly. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. You know, the bad English right there with the ain't. But, you know, that's what
right.
we got to do. If it's not broken, you don't have to fix it right there. Continue to do what you have been doing well in conference play and throughout the regular season to get to this point.
So here is the season on the line, if you will, for Delaware State, facing 4th down and 14. Snap to Caden Bennett. Fires over the middle, and it is intercepted. That's the dagger for the Bulldogs. It's Jaden Kimball on the INT, and South Carolina State is on its way to winning the MEAC for the 2nd year in a row.
Kimball right there just playing his defender very well, reading the eyes of Bennett, try to see where he's going to take this ball. You know he's going to have to get to that 1st down line. You see one person just sitting right there. He's staring him down right there, just able to jump that route and get that interception. SC State.
Stand up.
Might be time for that Celebration Bowl. As the turnover chain is on for Kimball right there. I always think that's so cool now, the teams, you know, celebrating something, you know. I'm not big on the 1st down celebrations or anything like that, but the turnover chains and the turnover celebrations, I do love that because it's a momentum shifter for your team.
Absolutely. Atkins with a give to Shaw, refusing to go down. Is Shaw, gets across midfield. This is an angry run from a very, very talented running back. What do you think of Josh Shaw
Oh, my gosh. Josh Shaw.
220 pounds going at you.
Like we said last drive, they have just leaned on Josh Shaw to carry them to the promised land. If we get a replay on this run, this is just pure anger. This is just madness. You know, somebody might need to check on him after this. If we get a timeout on the field with 2:24 left, Shaw, oh my goodness, he just kept going. You know, I'm looking down the field and I'm like, okay, maybe he's down. Then he stays back up, and I was like, maybe he's down right here. Then he gets back up. Look at this run right here. I'm gonna bounce to the outside after I see that. I'm gonna break a couple of tackles, break another tackle right there, and just get off of me right there. I'm gonna break another tackle too. 4 broken tackles to move SC State into Delaware State territory.
2:27 to go in the ball game. South Carolina State under their tremendous head coach, Chennis Berry. Last year's MEAC Coach of the Year. Maybe, again, on his way to that honor, or Deshaun Jackson as well. We talked about it in the open. I mean, you could go absolutely either way. Deshaun Jackson bringing Delaware State its first winning season in 13 years.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Chennis Berry, you know, I'd rather have the Celebration Bowl, the MEAC Championship, as I would have had the Coach of the Year. You know, Deshaun Jackson has done a wonderful job with this Delaware State program. A late flag comes in towards the end of the play, all the way from the backside official. It's going to be a personal foul.
That was Deshaun Jackson on the tackle as well in the backfield. And we'll hear from Jason Soisman at the 2:22 mark with more on this flag. Delaware State, 7 penalties for 70 yards. South Carolina State, 4 for 17. You go back, you look at the box score. Sometimes it tells the story of the game. Other times it doesn't. This one does exactly that.
Yeah, it's just been SC State playing consistent football as we getting ready to get the call from the official right here.
So personal foul there on South Carolina State, it looks like. That will back up the Bulldogs into their own territory with 2:22 left on the clock.
Exactly. And, Darren, like we were talking about, the third down efficiency from SC State hasn't been that well this game, 3 for 11. But Delaware State not that well either, 4 for 14. So in those third down situations, when they are getting a third down, SC State not converting well, but they're avoiding a lot of situations of getting the third down.
They lead by 11. They're going to go back to Josh Shaw, who's been a man on a mission this afternoon. Met at the line of contact, and he'll bring up third down. We'll see what the Hornets want to do.
As it's going to be third down, 2:07 left, and Delaware State going to take another, SC State might have took a timeout right there. As
talk about things being up by 11, and you're 8 seconds away from the 2-minute timeout.
Exactly. So Delaware State, the idea of taking those timeouts early is keeping it before the 2-minute warning, so you have that 2-minute warning to fall back on another timeout to kind of plan your drive and exactly what you're going to do for this next drive if you get a chance to try to get back on the field. And then now, you know, it's 3rd and 27. So, you know, if SC State gets this first down right here, that will be huge, and that will end the game. But it looks like Delaware State might get another shot. Down by 11, you know, you have to get down the field fast with no timeouts. That Delaware State took their last timeout. You have to get down the field fast with no timeouts and then get an onside kick, get the ball back, and then score again. So a lot of work to be done with only 2 minutes left, and Chennis Berry has prepared this team for all situations a football game can see.
3rd and 26 here for the Bulldogs from their 41, 2:08 to go in the contest. Atkins going to go back on the ground. Here's Tyler Smith. Has a long way to go. Not going to get it. So the Hornets are going to get the ball back after the 2-minute timeout with no timeouts, down by 11.
Yeah, no timeouts, down by 11. Like we just said, it's going to be a long road here to try to get back into this game.
Bulldogs 2 minutes away from back-to-back MEAC titles. They'll look to lock it down. After this, it's the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. Delaware State going to get the ball back, trailing 28-17, 2 minutes left, but no timeouts left for the Hornets. Elliot Yanish to punt it away for South Carolina State. Jaden Jenkins back deep for the Hornets of Delaware State. Makes the catch inside his 15, jumps out of a tackle, gets to the sideline, and here goes Jaden Jenkins cutting upfield and gets up across the 35. Hornets down by 11 with 1:47 left.
Yeah, 1:47 left. Looks like we do have an injury. A couple of SC State players slow to get up, as actually they're able to get up on their own power and try to walk off the field. Actually, one more is down. He gets up as he's walking off to the field now. Now, Delaware State, you got to try to dial up something. It's got to be long passes down the field to get you out of bounds so you can keep some time on the clock, one. And two, it's going to have to be extremely fast. And you see they're bringing Jaden Saray in, who has the arm as well. As Caden Bennett does have the throwing ability, but Jaden Saray is, we've shown previously throughout this game, has had the ability to push the ball down the field.
Saray threw for 144 yards last week in the win over Howard. Also ran for a score. 4-star quarterback coming out of high school, transfer from Maryland. So we'll see what the Hornets can do. Down by 11. Again, no timeouts left. You know, if you look into the, into the math junkies, if you will, of like, do you try and take a quick field goal, go for an onside kick, then at least you give yourself A, some time, and B, a chance. That's where it gets a little more intricate here than the common eye would see when you're down by 2 scores.
Exactly, but you have to remember Delaware State has missed a couple of field goals in this
Correct.
game so far. So you have to get that close enough to be able to feel confident that your kicker is going to make it one. So getting some points up on the board is the plan right here, but you have to get close enough you feel comfortable your kicker kicking it.
Saray going to take off. Gets up past the 40-yard line for a positive first down gain. Clock stopped at 1:41. What a game this was.
Yeah, and this has shown like SC State is a force in the MEAC. They have been one of the more phenomenal teams in the MEAC 2 seasons, and they're showing it here again in this MEAC championship with time dwindling down. South Carolina Bulldogs are going to escape Dover, Delaware.
Maurice Clark on the catch for Delaware State. Picks up the first down as Saray spikes it to stop the clock at 1:33.
Yeah, you move up to almost midfield now. So you still got a shot. You still got some time. 1:33 left. You just have to get to the other side of the field. But, SC State playing smart defense, only rushing 3. Having 8 back in coverage, just blanketing the field. It's quarters coverage right there, just nowhere to go.
Saray again here on second down. Rolling right, takes it himself, gets to midfield. Clock stopped at 1:27 here on third down. Again, those 3 interceptions. That is the difference in this game. 2 thrown by Caden Bennett, 1 by Saray.
Yeah, the beginning of the game, that interception by Caden Bennett that turned into that pick 6 just immediately hurt the Delaware State Hornets, and they tried to fight back. They've gotten back and gotten down by 4, but they could never just get past a 4-point deficit.
Here's 3rd and 10 from the 49 of the Hornets. Saray over the middle. It's caught. Sean Weston picks up the first down up to the 40. Hornets have to move as they are out of timeouts.
Exactly. Got to move real quick here. Got the first down. As looks like they're going to, instead of spiking it, they're going to try to run another play here.
Clock winding under 1:15 now. Saray again. Check down to Weston, trying to get out of bounds. He's unable to do so.
Great tackle right there. Great open field tackle to keep him in bounds. Now the clock goes under 1 minute. As Delaware State, the coaches from the sideline just trying to tell everybody to hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, get downfield. We got to try to get some points on the board. Now down to 50 seconds.
Under 1 minute to go. Saray again delivers, and it's caught right near the first down marker. There is Clark.
Yeah, Clark just able to, great catch right there, being able to hold on to that ball. But
it's 3rd and 2.
Clock still dwindling down almost under 30 seconds now. Going to take a shot downfield now.
Saray has to get rid of it, and he is unable to do so.
The clock is going to dwindle down now, under 20 seconds. Darren, the SC State Bulldogs
are here to stay.
Here to stay.
4th down could be the last play of the game. Ray gets rid of it, finds Terrence Roan, and Roan gets inside the 30 as that clock continues to wind. With under 5 seconds left, can the Hornets get off one more play? Ray looking towards the end zone, and it's intercepted. A fitting ending to this game. Picked off in the end zone there by Brennan Scott. And the Bulldogs are top dogs once again for the 2nd year in a row. South Carolina State is the champion of the MEAC. 28-17, the Bulldogs come into Dover and bring home their 20th MEAC championship back to Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Phenomenal season by Chennis Berry right here. You have to be completely proud of this SC State Bulldog team. They have shown throughout 2 seasons that they are a dominant force in the MEAC, and they're here to stay.
Absolutely tremendous performance from the Bulldogs. Great coaching job, as always, done by Chennis Berry, who refuses to lose a conference game. He's never lost one in the MEAC during his 2 years at the helm of South Carolina State. Let's take a look at your play of the game. It's brought to you by Residence Inn by Marriott Dover. Enjoy all the comforts and convenience of home in the heart of Dover. Located within minutes to Dover Downs, Delaware State University, and Dover Air Force Base. Book your stay. Call 302-677-0777. Jalen Levine with the pick 6 in the first quarter to make a statement early for South Carolina State.
Yeah, Caden Bennett did not need to throw that pass right there. You have to live to fight another down. It was very early in that game, and Caden Bennett kind of forced something. Levine able to jump that pass and get into the end zone. And the Delaware State Hornets just never haven't been able to catch back up after that interception right there. You see Chennis Berry embracing his players right there. Some sad faces, but sad to be going, but glad to be the MEAC champions.
The Bulldogs are going as well to the Cricket Celebration Bowl set in Atlanta, Georgia at Mercedes-Benz Stadium Saturday, December the 13th at noon on ABC to face the winner of the SWAC. So that's exciting as well for South Carolina State, who of course won the MEAC last year. Their last win in the Celebration Bowl was in 2021 when they beat Jackson State 31-10. And the Bulldogs are heading back to where they belong in the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah, Darren, if we just look at these stats, Caden Bennett, Jaden Saray, Caden Bennett with 2 interceptions, Jaden Saray with also 2 interceptions, even though that last one kind of came a little bit in garbage time, the last play of the game. So kind of just throwing that one up, trying to get something down onto the field, into the end zone. But you cannot beat this SC State team with 4 turnovers and then multiple penalties, 7 penalties in the contest for Delaware State. You cannot win the game doing that.
Let's take a look at your highlights from this afternoon's game. We talked about early on South Carolina State making its presence known. That pick 6 by Jalen Levine, that'll do that for you, giving the Bulldogs an early 7-0 lead.
Yeah, and then another interception back there in the end zone. Jabin Ford right there. And then outside right here, up the middle into the field for a touchdown, Jordan Smith right there, who had a phenomenal game for SC State, able to get into the end zone, do his little dance as the officials try to stop it. And then you see Marquise Gillis right here running up the middle of the field, something he always does well, which gave this Dover, Delaware crowd some life, as Marquise Gillis with a long 69-yard touchdown. And then coming back down the field is going to be a touchdown for SC State. Johnny Jones with the speed right there. And then you see James Jones into the end zone, that outside zone right there. Didn't want to say the wrong Jones right there, had to double check. And then Shaw right here just getting downfield, doing that dirty work for SC State, Josh Shaw. And then Stubblefield coming into the game and getting that rushing touchdown to close out the game for the Bulldogs.
An impressive showing for sure. Make sure to stay with us. We are bringing you live post-game coverage here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN Plus as we get ready to watch the Bulldogs of South Carolina State for the second year in a row, 20th time ever, raise the MEAC Championship trophy in the air. Yeah, there you can see they are rocking the MEAC Championship hats and T-shirts, well-deserved for head coach Chennis Berry in just his second year at the helm, who has never lost a conference game at the helm of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, no loss in a conference game, no loss as a head coach in any conference game, even going back to his Benedict days. That is just dominance. That shows you, one, you do what you have to do as a coach to win, and you get everybody, when you start winning, everybody loves it. And even if you're a good coach, everybody still loves it right here. As you see the band right there playing, just a phenomenal game here in Dover, Delaware, Darren. You could not ask for a better MEAC championship game.
Well, and what's going to come up in the Celebration Bowl as well, brought to you by Cricket. South Carolina State took on Jackson State last year in the Cricket Celebration Bowl, lost 28-7. If Jackson State wins today, they would punch their ticket to the SWAC championship game against Prairie View A&M, which, who knows, that one could go either way, and maybe potentially, if Jackson State pulls off another SWAC title, you could have a rematch of last year's game.
Yeah, a rematch of last year's game would be a phenomenal. It was a great game last year, and SC State just have gotten better since last year, so the MEAC having another shot in the Celebration Bowl to try to make a push for the FCF playoff.
The MEAC leads the all-time series in the Celebration Bowl 6-3, a series that started back in 2015, although the SWAC has been on top with wins over the last 2 years in a row, with Jackson State last year and Florida A&M in 2023. Last MEAC winner in the Celebration Bowl, NC Central back in 2022, when it defeated, guess who? Jackson State 41-34. The year before that, that was when South Carolina State last won the Celebration Bowl back in 2021, when it beat, yes, Jackson State 31-10. Jackson State has been in 3 of the last 4 Celebration Bowls. North Carolina A&T has won 4 of them, the most of any school. South Carolina State with 1 as well.
Yeah, we look around the MEAC. North Carolina Central able to get that W over Morgan State, 33-14 in that contest, which game started, I believe, at 12 o'clock right before our game started at 1. And then Norfolk State and Howard currently going at it in D.C. at Audi Field. Norfolk State currently leads 9-6 in the beginning of the second quarter with 13-19 left in the second quarter. And you just think about how dominant that Jackson State team is. We just go back and forth in that SWAC championship. And look at that beautiful MEAC trophy right there for the winners, the SC State Bulldogs, as a beautiful shot of that.
Right?
Yeah, it's just beautiful, actually. It's a beautiful trophy right there.
Glistening, and once again, the Bulldogs going to raise it in the air. While we're getting ready for the trophy presentation, I would also like to mention what an amazing season Delaware State had. What Deshaun Jackson brought to this university, to this community here in Dover. First winning season for Delaware State since 2012 when they went 6-5. I mean, absolutely incredible. And the 8 wins that Delaware State posted this year, the most in 18 years since the Hornets took home the league crown in 2007 and went to the first round of the FCS playoffs that year, falling to Delaware. So absolutely tremendous job. I want to give our hats off as well to Delaware State for an absolutely tremendous season, their best year in 18 seasons.
Yeah, their first MEAC championship appearance in a very, very long time. It's the second season we have seen in the MEAC, a first-year coach making it to the MEAC championship. So it tells you something about these first-year coaches. When they come into the MEAC, they show them, I'm not scared. And that Delaware State team, they had a lot of great games and a lot of great totals and finished the season with some of the best stats in the MEAC, second in scoring offense in the MEAC, first best offensive totals in the MEAC, first best rushing offense in the MEAC, and in the FCS. That is a great hill to climb, and Deshaun Jackson did that in 1 year. Fourth best passing offense in the MEAC, and the best running back in the MEAC, Marquise Gillis, and third best running back in the MEAC, James Jones. You have a two-headed monster in that backfield. You were able to use them well all year, used them well today, finishing with a total of 439 rushing yards, and Marquise Gillis finished with 159 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Caden Bennett, 131 rushing touchdowns. And then James Jones, 121 rushing yards, excuse me.
It is so impressive what Delaware State was able to do. And I think if you told head coach Deshaun Jackson and company that your team would total 526 yards of total offense, you would bet 10 times out of 10, maybe I guess in this case 9 times out of 10 that you would win the game. The problem is where it came down to is 4 interceptions for Delaware State and 7 penalties for 70 yards. That's the difference, and that's all that it takes for South Carolina State to raise that trophy in the air once again.
Exactly. If you go back to our keys before the game, you do what you do best for Delaware State. You run the ball, and they did do that. They didn't avoid turnovers, not as many as they had last week. 7 turnovers compared to 17. But for SC State, you had to play your game. That was one of our keys, and they did do that today. They forced turnovers. They had a productive offense throughout the game so far. You see Chennisberry just embracing a lot of people, a lot of tears of joy going down on that field right now. Just a beautiful scene right here for the MEAC championship, and SC State did everything they possibly could to win this game, and they did come out on top.
Yeah, and how about the crowd, right? We said that Alumni Stadium capacity-wise is 7,000. And I'll tell you what, today, I don't know what it was. I'm excited to see what it will come out to after the game, as you see head coach Deshaun Jackson embracing the community there on the field for a real job well done this season. I would love to see what the final attendance was for this afternoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they doubled their attendance for this game. It felt like a homecoming game. It was a tailgate going on outside, and then they packed the stadium. We saw the crowd like 15 minutes before, Darren. We said something. It was like, crowd's a little bit. It's not as much as we thought it was going to be. Then we looked down, took a couple of notes, then we looked back up, and the stadium was packed, and it was full on both sides of the ball. South Carolina State, they traveled a long ways to get up here to Dover, Delaware, and they traveled very well to support their Bulldogs.
And that's why the Bulldogs are top dogs yet again. You are looking live right at them as they get ready to claim the MEAC trophy for the 20th time in school history and for the second year in a row.
Exactly. How many people can say they were on this team that won 2 MEAC championships in a row? Not a lot of players can say that. That goes with them past when they graduate, past when you graduate and become have a family and stuff like that, and you go on further in life, where you go into the NFL maybe for some of these SC State players. There's a lot of phenomenal guys on this team. You get to say that I won 2 championships in a row in the MEAC, and Coach Barry was there to push me to do it.
Yeah, do not go anywhere, because we are looking live at the 2025 MEAC champion South Carolina State Bulldogs, who are, heading to the Cricket Celebration Bowl for the second year in a row as well. And we'll send things down to the field to the victorious Bulldogs, the champions of the MEAC.
All right, we're going to start with Sonia Stills, commissioner of the MEAC, to present this trophy.
On behalf of the Council of Chief Executive Officers of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference of our Elite 8 member institutions, I want to award South Carolina State President Colonel Conyers, Coach Buddy Pugh, the AD, and Chennisberry, head coach, and the South Carolina State football team. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah! We go 2 for 2. Oh, yeah. We go 2 for 2.
We'll now bring in John Grant, Executive Director of the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
Coach, what a game. What a season. We're so proud of your representation. You started out listed to be on top, and you end the season on top. And as a result, for VSPN events, we proudly welcome you to the 2025 Cricket Celebration Bowl.
All right, Coach. I see you taking in this moment Your second year as coach of this program, now your second MEAC trophy. What does this mean to this team?
First of all, to God be the glory. We found a way to accomplish the mission for us. It's about falling in love with the process, surrendering the outcome. And our guys all year long have really believed in our process. And we always talk about just going 1-0 every day. And our young men, I'm so proud of our players, our coaches, our support staff, our alumni, our fans. It's a great day to be a Bulldog, and I'm just so grateful to be back-to-back MEAC champs.
You told me at the start of this season you had to build a new group of starters. What has impressed you about the way they've been able to grow this season?
Well, like I said before, we were a totally new team. But it takes buy-in, and that's one of our acronyms for the season. You got to believe, you have to unite, you have to yield the outcome, all right? Then you have to invest in each other. And then an opportunity of now. That's no opportunity wasted, no other way, and our young men had to buy in. When you bring in 32 transfers and 12 high school guys, it's about falling in love with the process, and our young men did that, and we stand here today, MEAC champs. So I'm super, super proud of our entire program. I'm grateful, and again, to God be the glory.
Coach, you've been preaching the same message all season long, go 1-0. How have you seen this team rise to the occasion, and what has made them special?
Well, they just believe, and they're a totally united group. They love this program. They love South Carolina State University. Great place with great people. And at the end of the day, it's about the people. Brick and mortar, it falls one day, but the people last forever. And it's about giving our young men the right student-athlete experience so they can be potential donors and give back to their university when it's all said and done. So we love our young men. We just love being – I'm grateful to be the leader, the head football coach at South Carolina State University. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach. We'll see you in Atlanta.
God bless you. Let's get it. Go Dogs.
Thank you so much, Kendall, and congratulations to South Carolina State and head coach Chennis Berry on a job well done. Second year in a row that the Bulldogs claim the MEAC crown, and 20th time in school history as they punch their ticket to the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Thanks again so much for joining us here at Alumni Stadium in Dover. All games airing on the ESPN family of networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.